on certify, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing.
Trusted pros who do it right.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, friends, on a beautiful Tuesday here in St. Louis. It is June 16th, which means we're a day away from the event of the year. We'll tell you all about it in a minute. 314-436-7900 to join in on our fun today. You can text and call. You can leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app. If you don't have that app downloaded on your phone, go to your app store or whatever you Apple people use and get it, or the Google Play Store. It's totally free. You can listen to KMOX Live and all of our podcasts, and Cardinals baseball you can listen to. And if you want to watch us, you can do that too. We are on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We are on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
The World Cup is ongoing, and man, has it been so far a whole lot of fun. We will discuss that and all the ties that happened yesterday. Amy's upset about it. I don't care. A normal person wouldn't care, but Amy's pissed.
You're going to be shocked by my take on this. And the sinkhole is still in the news. The 35-foot by 20-foot sinkhole that opened up just under Highway 44. As Maria Kina pointed out yesterday, looks like it took 24 hours before the police and MoDOT, or the streets department, blocked it off.
And by the time the police got there were a dozen cars in the sinkhole.
Jeez.
The cars just kept pulling in.
It's a big sinkhole.
The dozen cars didn't happen.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Ron just back. He was joking.
What a performance by Dustin May for the Cardinals last night at Busch Stadium. Complete game shutout, a one-hitter against the Padres, and that series continues tonight.
The 1-2 pitch to Fernando Tatis Jr. Swing and a miss. That's a Redbird winner. That's a one-hitter. That's a shutout for Dustin May. Light up the night. Light it up in downtown St. Louis.
It's pretty great, man.
Yeah.
Really, really great job by Dustin May, who may or may not be traded at the deadline. It really depends on how the Cardinals are doing as we get closer to that. But that's exactly what they needed, baby.
Oh, they did. And we were talking yesterday with Matt Pauley how the Cardinals are scoring runs, something like 62 runs in the past three series, almost 7 runs a game that they were averaging. And really against the Reds, they could have swept that series or at least won one more game. They should have, and, had a tough bullpen outing in a couple of games. And I was pretty frustrated. I said, man, you got to be frustrated with the bullpen. And I guess one way to fix your bullpen problems is to not go to the bullpen.
Well, yes.
That's what I thought yesterday.
There's a big problem with that. It just, you can't avoid it. And that's
and I feel like I'm being mean to the bullpen, but they were struggling.
It's fair
the
to
past
point it
few
out.
Games, yeah.
They know it.
I think it was only the 7th complete game in Major League Baseball this year.
Well, it just doesn't happen as much anymore. Starters aren't going as long as they used to, and complete games are much rarer than they used to be. I mean, this isn't what it was in the 80s and prior to that. A lot of guys just, they're going 5 or 6 innings, then you go to a bullpen, and usually the bullpen arms are pretty good. And that's just a real quick sidebar here, not to get too deep into the weeds. But it was always, when I was covering baseball day to day, it was always a source of amusement for me when people would complain when the manager would go out and get a particular reliever and put him in the game. Like, how can you put this guy in? Like, you gotta pitch the guys you have. You can't just have a bullpen where there's 1 or 2 or 3 people that never go in. Everybody has to throw because you can't have the same 3 guys pitching every night. It's just physically not possible. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be great to avoid the bullpen when they're struggling, but just, it's not realistic anymore.
Was it Matt Pauley who pointed out yesterday that, yes, the bullpen was struggling, but last year the starters were struggling because we were throwing Eric Fedde and Miles Michaelis out every 5 days.
Yeah, well, It was a
That was
little
rough.
bit different situation back
Yeah.
then. So speaking of the Cardinals, now they will play tonight, 5:50 pregame on KMOX, 6:45 first pitch. So we have the broadcast, obviously. Tomorrow is, as I like to call it, the event of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Christmas. It's not Super Bowl. It isn't even this World Cup.
It's not the World Cup. I mean, people are talking about this.
Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark is tomorrow afternoon. It is a 1:15 first pitch, and Amy and I will be broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing our show before the gates even open, just inside Gate 1, which is the Broadway near the interstate, far, far from the sinkhole.
We're very far from the sinkhole.
Not even close to the
sinkhole's
sinkhole.
closer to the dome.
Yeah, sinkhole's right close to the dome.
Yeah.
They patched up the little sinkhole that opened up outside Busch Stadium before opening day. Okay, so we're all good. But we are going to be inside Gate 1 doing our show, and then right there is the Mississippi Yacht Club pop-up bar, which is one of those themed pop-ups, and it's changing themes multiple times through the season. Amy and I then will be guest bartending, and then we're going to stick around for the game. We have a special section for you. If you can knock off work tomorrow,
Which you can.
You can.
With the right attitude.
Yeah, just you walk right in. We have a note that you can give to your boss that's on our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX.
Where we do commit identity fraud.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Nobody needs to know that it's identity fraud. $15 tickets. We have a $15 section. $15 is awesome for a ball game, and we expect a good crowd tomorrow. I know it's a day game. It's a Wednesday. But summer started, man. It's going to be June 17th tomorrow. It's summertime.
Well,
all right?
and also I'm glad
go to
it's
a ball game for $15 tomorrow.
And I'm so glad it's a day game because I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that's why the Cardinals said we cannot let Chris and Amy Day be bothered by the weather. So we're going to make Chris and Amy Day a 1:15 game before it rains.
We do love weather so much that it kind of would have been perfect to have a rain delay or something. You know?
The Chris and Amy rain delay.
Yeah. And if it gets canceled, we'll just come back and do it again. But yeah, 1:15 tomorrow. We have a special section, $15 tickets, and you can get those tickets, cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy.
I have had so many people ask, wait a minute, you're bartending? Do you know how to mix drinks? Do you know how to make a Manhattan or an old fashioned or whatever else you would make? And are we mixing drinks? Or are we just handing people cans?
Amy, I think they just give us the beer to hand out to people.
If a customer asks for a cocktail, we can say, no.
That's what I've been telling people. I said, no, I think we're just like handing people beer.
I will not be.
But how fun would it be if we're actually like mixing drinks?
Yeah, I don't think we're mixing the drinks, but I will be tasting each one with my finger. I'm gonna dunk my finger into each drink and taste it, see if it's okay, and then I'll let it go out.
So gross. That's so gross.
Okay. I won't do that. I promise I won't do that.
What if you waterfall it? You waterfall each drink to test it first.
Well,
you hold it above your mouth.
Yeah.
So you're not putting your dirty lips
oh,
on
I
the
see
can.
what you're saying. Yeah.
You're just waterfalling some of it.
Well, then that would half the drink would be gone. Because I'd probably spill it.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to spit it out too, because otherwise you'd get drunk, like a wine tasting.
Yeah, just like a wine tasting. You're right.
I think it's going to be so much fun, and this will be
I'll
my
spit
first
it back
time.
into the cup. Just
Okay, now I'm going to throw up. This will be so much fun too because the Chris and Amy section is right field, correct?
Very close
to Tarps Off.
Yeah.
And I have yet to go to the Tarps Off section this year. Matt's gone. He said it was a ton of fun.
I've gone. The tarps are off. It was a great time.
I don't think we're going to have much going to. It'll be right there. Like we're
there.
We're just kind of.
That's kind of a good point. We'll be there basically.
It'll be a lot of fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Come take your shirt off in front. Here's what we'll do. If you on the way to the Tarps Off section, if you want to stop by the Chris and Amy section and show us your nips.
No, don't say it like that.
And then we'll do a nip contest.
No. Oh my gosh. No, we're not doing that. You can't.
We can't do a
illegal.
nip judging. What are you talking about? People take their shirts off.
I don't think. No.
I think you can.
You know what's going to happen? Heim Bloom's going to accidentally hear this show.
He might actually be there.
And you're going to ruin Tarps Off because you made it weird.
I don't think it's ruining it. I think if you just pass by and you go, hey, what do you think of this? We'll
No.
go, well, thumbs up or thumbs down.
Please don't
We'll
do
just do
that.
thumbs up or thumbs down.
No.
Amy would like to judge your nips. So come on by the Chris and Amy section
no.
tomorrow. We're going to be between, is it 131, 132, 133? Those are the
I
sections.
don't care anymore.
So those are the sections we're going to be at.
Yeah.
Come on by. But go buy tickets.
Yeah, go buy
Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. Cannot reiterate this enough. $15 is a really cool deal. It's very good.
I know we're going to talk about this next because, guys, I've never felt more patriotic in my whole life. This World Cup, watching people from all over the world discover America has been so much fun. And as you mentioned, yesterday, something very special happened with all the scores.
We'll get into it. That's Amy Mark's Scores. I'm Chris Ranji. Again, Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. Chris and Amy Day at the Ballpark is tomorrow at Busch Stadium here in St. Louis.
Right now, inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake up the markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs, so this is not the time to just hope it works out. That's why Steve Auld and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, June 16th at the All Financial Group office. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines may impact your returns, and whether your retirement strategy is truly stress-tested for today's economy. This event is complimentary, and you must reserve your seat today. 636-230-8824. You can also get more details online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
The Second World War is the largest event in human history.
A 20-part series with Tom Hanks.
No part of the globe was untouched. No life unchanged.
Experience the ultimate account of World War II.
Every single person had a story. These are the stories that make us who we are.
Listen to World War II with Tom Hanks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Father's Day? Go big for Dad. Celebrate Father's Day with 5 courses fresh from the Wok Fire. Enjoy a 5-course celebration experience starting at $89.99, featuring premium entrees like New York prime strip steak tataki, oolong chili and sea bass, and lobster and prawn fried rice. Bold flavors, sizzling favorites, a meal made to impress. Because Dad deserves more than just a dinner. He deserves a celebration. Celebrate Father's Day with some sizzle. Only at P.F. Chang's.
What if you could better understand your risk for chronic disease and cancer before symptoms ever begin? With your disease risk from Siteman Cancer Center, you can take a quick, evidence-based assessment that looks at factors like family history, lifestyle, and everyday habits to provide personalized insights about your health. Your health story is shaped by more than genetics. Nutrition, physical activity, sleep, tobacco use, and routine screenings all play an important role in your future well-being. Knowing how these factors work together can help you make informed decisions and take action earlier. When it comes to prevention, knowledge is powerful. In just a few minutes, your disease risk can help you better understand your health risks and provide practical guidance to support a healthier future. Take the first step today. Prevention begins with awareness. Visit siteman.washu.edu/YDR. That's siteman.washu.edu/YDR YDR.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you.
Need a lab coat to change the future of cancer. You just need to show up. From first-time riders to lifelong champions, from corporate teams to kids. Pedal the Cause brings together thousands who put their hope into action. Ride, volunteer, lead a team, support a rider, because cures don't happen by chance. They happen when a community takes action. We are the answer to cancer. Join us at pedalthecause.org.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope Missouri offers free, confidential support wherever you are. Call or text 1-800-985-5990 and connect with a local crisis counselor today. From Missouri Department of Mental Health.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Guys, you know what? I think everybody missed the lead this year because nobody expected it. And what is that? I think the ultimate unifying event for America 250 is the World Cup. Not that we're hosting it, not just that we're hosting it, but that people from all over the world are visiting the United States for the first time in their lives, and the country is blowing their minds. Like everything that we take for granted, I've called it the abundance of America. Europeans are discovering the abundance of America, whether it is the abundance of soda choices at the gas station or waffles at Waffle House at 1 a.m. or the abundance of land in the national parks or even the abundance of generosity. Because remember, a lot of these teams, they're staying in, Lawrence, Kansas. And you've got people from Europe not just visiting LA and New York, but they're driving across Texas, which one European said, I've been driving all day and I'm still in Texas. This is the most amazing thing. You could drive for 10 hours and still be in Texas. There was a guy from New Zealand. He's a very popular influencer, like TikTok guy from New Zealand, who is in Alabama and got boiled peanuts for the first time. And he asked,
I've never even had boiled peanuts.
And he asked the lady at the gas station, it is the most wholesome video ever. He's like, what are boiled peanuts? And she's like, oh, I got to get you some boiled peanuts and then some Cajun boiled peanuts. And he asks her how to eat them and she shows him. And it's rural Alabama and he's just having the time of his life and they hug it out at the end. I mean, I am feeling so patriotic. Like, yeah, this country's awesome, man. I am having the time of my life. What if this is the 250th anniversary celebration, is seeing America through fresh eyes and realizing how great we have it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it's the same as whenever you go to Switzerland. You're like, wow, this is amazing. Look at all this stuff they've got. It just, there's a novelty to it. And there are great things here in the country. It's
Costco.
Cool to see.
They don't have Costco in Switzerland or Menards, where a guy said this guy bought tacos and toilets at the same store.
Yeah, so but that's also kind of the thing, right? Like, should we have so much choice? Like, I know we have it and it is good, but there's also a give with the take.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You
Like,
can say, I've complained about
like a gigantic
consumerism.
Walmart is a little too much.
But
you know what I mean?
But you know how we talk about food deserts and such, and we have our standard? All of Europe is a food desert, right? Like their grocery stores are spread out, and they're only open, a lot of stores open 8 to 6 or whatever, so it's hard to get to a grocery store. I think it's more of an abundance, yes, of choices, food, which is great, but then also an abundance of land, right? And the national parks, all the different national parks, to an abundance of generosity and different cultures. Because if you're in Texas and visiting, or if you're in California and you're in New York, or you're in Kansas, those are different cultures, different vibes, because the country is so big, and that's cool too.
Yeah, I think it'd be if I lived in the UK, or if I were Scottish, and I was coming to the United States, although they're all in the Boston area, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
But if I were coming here and exploring the country, I think I would get a real kick out of seeing Kansas, but there's no way in hell I'd want to stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, wow, this is fascinating. This is an interesting place. Okay, I'm going to leave now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
So,
and like I said, I think a lot of people are driving around. You know, they're going to baseball games for the first time. Another European family went to a rodeo, and they're just like, this is unbelievable.
like, what in the hell is this?
These guys are just letting bulls chase them.
Do you know what I think it would be like? It would be like going over to, and is it in Ireland where they have the cheese rolling down the hill thing? They do it once a year.
That was England.
Okay, well, it's somewhere in that part of the world where they roll the cheese down the hill and everybody chases after it and they tumble down. I think that would be incredible to see it once.
Once, yeah.
You know, like one time and then I am good. I don't think I need to see it again.
And I will say, like, my friends, I always talk about my international crew, right? But my friends, especially like one of the friends who was from here, who was from Switzerland, who lived here for 4 years, he was so dedicated to taking family trips all over the U.S. He said the country is so big. There's so much to see. And they were so intentional about it because even though you're all in the U.S., it felt like a different country in a way because it's so big. But we have some audio. Some of the videos on TikTok are very visual driven. So it was a bummer I couldn't pull some of those. But here are some of the online Europeans discovering America.
I feel like I've been lied to my entire life about America. I'm in Florida. This beach is insane. Like just as good as Australian beaches. But if you log on to the news, everything's bad. Everyone's got blue hair.
I was well and truly born in the wrong country. I'm a British girl and I have been to around 27 different countries in my whole life. Nothing comes close to the USA. You can get every single landscape, every single climate.
My ancestors will not like me for saying this, but there are things America does that are better than the UK, and these are three that I can think of right now. Number one, college sports. In the UK, university sports is basically 7 people playing football next to a car park. In America, college sports looks like the Olympics had a baby with the Super Bowl. Number 2, drive-through banks. When I first saw one, I just thought Americans had become too lazy to commit financial fraud indoors. But honestly, incredible idea. And finally, endless refills. This nearly moved me to tears. In Britain, if you ask for another Coke, they look at you like you've requested a second mortgage. And it'll cost you an extra £4 British every time. But in America, the waiter just appears every 6 minutes like some fizzy drink guardian angel.
That's true. And you know what? It's probably not helping us. It's probably not helping that we just get free. So once you pay for it once, it's just that glass doesn't stop being full.
Someone did comment, yes, it's called the obesity epidemic.
Yeah, that's it. So there's give and take. Like I said, there are good things about it. Accessibility is great until there's that. I get the paralysis of choice a lot, which we talked about before. When you have too many options, I can get to a point where I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell to do because I've got too many things in front of me. And so that's not necessarily good. It's good to have options, but it's not all good. You know what I mean?
It's always a trade-off. Everything in life is a trade-off. And if you are going to live in a country of abundance and freedom, you're also going to live in a country of, yes, consumerism, overconsumption, and some wackos. Because wackos come with freedom.
And like I said, one of the things that is happening now, I'm sure for a lot of the visitors coming in, is that, like the very first person said in that clip, that this is not what they thought it was.
Yeah.
Which is the same if we went somewhere else. You know, if we go to another place, I'm sure it's not exactly the way you...
Oh, gosh, Raj, I think it's if a Midwesterner goes to New York City. They're like, oh, wow, this isn't nearly as bad.
Even in the same country.
Yeah.
One more. I love the Scottish people who are in Boston, and they had, it was like a parade of thousands of people.
It was unbelievable.
Walking to the stadium, and they've got a bagpipe band, and I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. I love the Scots. And there's a man who a bunch of Scots went to the Red Sox game on Sunday, and one of them was being interviewed by Boston 25. It's their Fox affiliate.
Okay.
And he was being asked about how long the game is. This is very funny.
How many innings is that?
9.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
You don't have to stay.
No, definitely. Once I get my t-shirt, I'm off.
It's like 9 innings. You're having a laugh. I love that.
It's so good.
How about the other guy?
Yeah.
There was another guy who had spent a bunch of money to come here, as obviously you were traveling overseas, and he said he was having the time of his life.
I don't care how much it costs. I don't care the trouble I'm in with my wife now. This is the best experience of my entire life, including my wedding. I paid 20 times the money I paid for my first car for my ticket for the Haiti game.
Great. That was from ITV Football.
It's just so much fun. Like I said, I think this is our celebration. I'm having so much fun with this World Cup.
It's fun. It's like getting to show your friends around town, coming in to visit.
It's like having your friend over. You want to see my room?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see my stuff? Do you see this?
Yeah.
See this pillow? See my toys? It's
really
so
great.
much fun.
We are going to talk to columnist for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Bill McClellan. He's got an opinion piece over the St. Louis Police Board, the state of Missouri overtaking it, and he had some interesting thoughts. We're going to talk to Bill McClellan when we come back on 104.1 FM KMOX. But as we've been talking about, a great event, one of the biggest events in the world, is happening right now. And FanDuel wants you to get in on the action, and they are changing the game on the biggest stage in the world. Because, if you're betting soccer, sometimes your player will get subbed out, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, that's not going to happen anymore with FanDuel. They have a thing called Super Sub. And with FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out during the match, your bet's going to stay in, yes, with the player who replaces him. So if your player leaves the match, your bet rolls on, so you're still in it until the final whistle. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri and get started. I have been telling you about this app for months and months, and I love it. It is secure. It's intuitive. All the information is there for you to place your wager. You're going to have a really good time with it. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
All access with Ollie Marble on the Gas House Gang.
I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group. This group fits my personality to a T. I love what we're doing. I love how we're going about it. I love the honest conversations. I love the grit. And there's been certain times where I've caught myself where bases are loaded, our back's up against the wall, and I can't help but smile. I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group.
Ollie Marble, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's gorgeous, 71 degrees and sunny. Today, partial sunshine, a high of 80, maybe a thunderstorm later on tonight, a low of 63. Weather sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
This summer, there's no better place to catch Team USA in the FIFA World Cup 26 than the Beer Garden at Anheuser-Busch. We hosted KMOX listeners there last week, and trust us, the atmosphere is incredible. Huge screens, great seats everywhere, ice-cold beer, $15 Michelob Ultra pitchers, $20 Ultra buckets, $5 Ultra drafts, and collectible FIFA cups while supplies last. Bring your crew, cheer on Team USA at the Beer Garden. Visit BudweiserTours.com for details.
This is Jordan Walker. Celebrate Black Heritage Day, presented by your quality Ford dealers on Sunday, June 28th at Busch Stadium. This special culture and community event honors the impact, history, and legacy of the Black community in baseball and beyond. With a special themed ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Cardinals jersey designed by Corey Rogers. And don't miss a special heritage celebration in Budweiser Terrace before the game. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
The weekend starts at Busch Stadium. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live.
every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou. With $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at Cardinals.com.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Today,
the Cards, the Padres.
Ameren Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you. And we've been talking a lot about the St. Louis Police Board of Commissioners and the city of St. Louis and the tensions that seem to be growing every day between the two. Well, lo and behold, Bill McClellan, who always has his finger on the pulse of the city, but has a take that no one else does, always has that unique angle. He wrote a column about this feud between the state takeover of the police and the city of St. Louis and how Bill has changed his mind from his original position, and he joins us now. Everyone's favorite Bill McClellan, columnist for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. You also know him from Donnybrook. Bill, it's always a good day when we get to talk with you.
Well, thanks, Amy. Nice to talk to you.
Well, really interested by your piece that I have right in front of me here that you initially supported the state takeover of the police in the city of St. Louis, and now you have changed your mind. And I guess what changed your mind and what prompted you to write about it?
Well, the first thing that changed my mind was the city government changed. You know, when this whole state takeover began to gain steam, Megan Green was the aldermanic president, and Tashara Jones was the mayor, and Kim Gardner was the circuit attorney, and there was Cori Bush was the congressional woman. Not that that mattered, but there was, an anti-police, defund the police sort of feeling. And when I talked to cops, I was sympathetic to them. I thought, they're going to be run by people who don't really appreciate them. And the second thing was, I remember when the state controlled, I came here in 1980 and I covered the police for the first three years I was here. And I remembered state control and it seemed to work fine. And so I thought, state control makes sense. And then everything changed. I mean, the moderates took over the city. I mean, you've got Gabe Gore in the circuit attorney's office and Kara Spencer as mayor, Donna Behringer as comptroller. The whole flavor and feeling of that changed. And then when the new board took over, the old board that I remember, the old businessmen, they felt like they were managing the police department for the city. And the new board has acted like it feels it's representing the police department against the city. And some of that you can't blame on them because there were lawsuits initially opposing the takeover. But, I talked to Chris Greville about that, and he seemed reasonable. He said, anybody who didn't think the city would react like this was naive. We just have to deal with it. But it's just been too much we represent the police department against the city is the way the board acts, and they do it in lockstep. It isn't like a normal board where there seems to be disagreements. And when I decided to write about it and called Chris Saraceno, the president of the board, he said, he'd be happy to talk, but we would have to patch Chip McCoy, the spokesperson for the police department, in on the phone call. And, I was fine to do that. McCoy seems like a fine guy. But, the old board felt a little more independent. And, it's kind of like, Chris Graville has an awful lot of authority on this board. And the old board were businessmen who felt like, they employed accountants and they employed lawyers, but the lawyers and the accountants didn't run the business. They did. And these guys seem to act like Graville runs the police board. And it just makes things awkward. And, I was a little aghast, Amy, when the board was announced. It wasn't the kind of people I was thinking of. I had written that I thought Keogh was the right guy to do this because, his dad had been a city cop, and then his dad, deserted the family, but other cops, mostly Dave Sinclair, stepped in and took care of the Keoghs. And I thought Keogh has a deep connection to the police department, and these would be thoughtful picks. And I didn't think they were.
Yeah, Bill, this is no. Yeah, I mean, I am. You kind of are really addressing what my question is why is this board seemingly so combative when the people who are now in leadership really are not anti-police? They don't talk like they're anti-police. They talk like they want to be helpful and as if they need the police department here. So is it all about this attorney, Chris Granville, or is it something else? What exactly is going on here?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, part of it, like I said, you can't blame on the board because there were immediately 2 lawsuits filed opposing state takeover. So, it isn't like they came in and swung took the first punch, but they've just reacted to it much more harshly, and it doesn't seem like there's much give or take. And I was going to say that the makeup of the board kind of stunned me. I'm not trying to do identity politics or you have to have so many black people and so many this or that, but in the city of St. Louis, where almost all the street crime is committed by black people against black people, and the neighborhoods that are really in terrible shape crime-wise are black neighborhoods, I would have expected more, a couple of black people on the board. I mean, there's black business people who are, extremely concerned about crime, and the only black person on the board was Sylvia Jenkins Gray, and she's a strange pick, I thought. She had been city personnel director and then was fired, and I know it was, political fighting with her and her former friend Tashara Jones, but Gray, famously took a city car and a city employee and went to Jefferson City to look for her husband, the Reverend Gray. And that's what got her fired. And I thought, I don't think that's a big deal. But when you put somebody on the board, you're really looking for somebody with judgment. And I wasn't sure that represented great judgment. And she's also suing the city. Right. And I thought, that in a normal time, maybe you could have a board member suing the city, but in these times where it's so contentious, it's crazy. I mean, the conflicts of interest. I mean, if you're suing the city, you're dealing with the city councilor's office is opposing you, and now, even though they're a state agency, they have to work with the city councilor's office. And I don't want to go through the board one by one and pick out, but I was stunned when Dave Brown or Don Brown, the Chevy dealer, was named to the board because he sells the cars to the police department, and and no shade on him. He probably gives everybody a good deal. But in what universe do you have one of your big vendors on the board? I mean, if I own a Ford dealership or a Honda or anything, and I say, hey, I'm going to compete for the business here and see if I can sell the police department police cars. And they say, well, the problem is the vendors on the board. And he's going, who does that? Mm-hmm. Now, it might be that the city buys its police cars independent from the police department. Everything gets so confusing when you have the police department as a state agency. Like on these last lawsuits that Chris Lavelle filed and were kicked back. Lavelle filed and were kicked back because they weren't filed properly. I thought, I wonder who pays for this. And I called the comptroller's office and said, who's on the hook for these lawsuits, even though they were filed incorrectly? And they said, we are, the city. I mean, the city is paying Lavelle to sue the city. And,
and speaking of that, Bill, in your opinion, how much of this antagonism is driven by Chris Graville, the board's attorney? Because I know we've had several listeners or people text in saying, hey, we think it's the attorney that's really creating the tension here. Do you agree with that in your opinion?
Well, just to a degree, I do. I think that he has come in a very combative position. He's taken a very combative position and feels like he's representing the police department against the city. And like I say, ideally, you're managing the police department for the city. And, I think that his supporters, if there are many, I hear mostly like you hear, critics, but would say that, well, you have to remember that the first two lawsuits were filed against the police board's existence. So you're going to have some antagonism. But yeah, I think that Chris Graville has certainly not been a peacemaker.
Yeah, I would think, though, that the board coming in would have understood those lawsuits, considering the city did not want that to happen and it was done out of their control. So, I'm not sure what they were expecting. So it's kind of crazy to be this antagonistic toward them.
Yeah, and I would think that everybody would kind of go out of their way to let the city know that, hey, we're actually all one team. We're on your side. But it hasn't been that way. And I talked to somebody who goes to the mayor's cabinet meetings, and this person told me that the chief has pretty much quit going. And I'm sure he has an excuse or he's busy or something. But, it's not Team St. Louis. It's, Team Police Department and Team St. Louis fighting each other. And it's just this was not what I expected when I said that state control makes a lot of sense.
Bill McClellan, columnist for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. It's great to talk to you. Thank you for giving us time today.
Hey, I enjoyed talking to you guys.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill McClellan. Also, you can see him on Donnybrook. And
Legend.
I think, if they're going to do this thing, if the state was going to take over control of the police department, you would think they'd try to at least have some kind of, cohesive situation going on here where you're working with the other side.
Well, and Bill talked about how previously it did feel like the police board or the state control of the St. Louis City Police was at least okay, that they were working together versus being pitted against one another, because it's wild to think it was only 13 years ago that St. Louis City got control of its police department back.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Do not forget, big day tomorrow. Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark. Cardinals and Padres afternoon game. 1:15 is the first pitch, and we are broadcasting live from inside the ballpark, inside Gate 1. Then guest bartending at the Mississippi Yacht Club bar, which is the pop-up right there inside of Gate 1. And we are offering you special tickets, $15 seats for tomorrow. Got to go to cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. It's tomorrow. We're just over 24 hours away from Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium tomorrow.
Be there or be square, as the kids say.
Hey, don't be a loser and not go.
Yeah.
Take off work. It's fine.
It's good. You should take off work.
It'll be a great time. That's tomorrow at Busch Stadium. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Bryan Adams is bringing the Roll with a Bunches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Bryan Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Bryan Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Bryan Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
Save time and money.
Do it now, don't wait till later. Call the top-notch renovator. It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about Burn Balance Complex, which is available at supplement superstores. And look, I've been using Burn Balance Complex since the week that it was released, and you notice the benefits really soon after you get started. Look, what Burn Balance Complex is a complete metabolism system. It is not just a fat burner. It works with your body, not against you, right? It's not bringing a lot of the negativity that other supplements bring. It's nothing but the good stuff. It's a natural weight loss option for people that just don't want prescriptions or injections. Get that. I understand it. And to me, Burn Balance Complex is the best thing I've used when it comes to natural weight loss. Also helps with reducing stress and lowering cortisol levels. You're going to get appetite and cravings control along with that, plus all-day focused energy with no jitters, which is the best part. Look, it's not magic. You got to put in the work. Burn Balance Complex makes putting in the work that much easier. So get out to supplement superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you, and they'll knock 30% off for you right there on the spot, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, Ranj, I'm sure you saw this because everyone's talking about it when it comes to the World Cup, that the tiny island chain of Cape Verde shocked soccer fans everywhere. They played Spain, one of the favorites, I believe, to win the World Cup, and they ended in a 0-0 draw, otherwise known as a tie. But, I mean, for Cape Verde, that was the equivalent of winning the World Cup. Playing Spain to
they
a
should have gotten
0-0
blown
draw.
out.
So
Like, they should have gotten absolutely torched.
I think I didn't see the whole game, and so like some of my friends were joking about it this morning I think Cape Verde had one shot and Spain had the ball like 85% of the time.
Yeah.
But they should have gotten blown out, and they didn't. But as you pointed out, every single game yesterday, is this correct? Is this right? Every single game yesterday ended in a draw, in a tie.
That's what they tell me.
That's what the scores are, yeah.
And you want to
That's
know
what they
how
tell me.
patriotic I'm feeling right now? I don't even care. They told me that all the teams tied yesterday, and I said, God bless America.
Look, once they get to the knockout stages, there will be decisive victors in these games, and that's all you really need. I'm good with that.
So much fun.
Did you see that the number one market for USA Paraguay, which is the game that happened on Friday?
Yep.
And this is from Michael Mulvihill from Fox. He does insights and analytics. And he says the number one market for that game, the U.S. men's national team first game, was Kansas City, the television market.
Okay.
They had a 9.2 rating and a 29 share. Next was Boston with an 8.6, San Diego a 7.3, Dallas a 7.3, St. Louis a 7.3. So St.
You're darn
Louis
right.
was tied for third best ratings for the World Cup game on Friday.
Awesome.
And the next men's national team game will be 2 o'clock on Friday.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting start time. But hey, man, St. Louis loves its soccer. And of course, Kansas City is going to be because they are a World Cup location.
Mm-hmm.
So for this not being a World Cup location, it's pretty incredible that the ratings were as good as they were for that game.
Such a strong soccer town, though. It's so fun. Everybody plan where you're going to go to your watch party or host your watch party for Friday's game, 2 p.m.
That'll be a fun time.
You got to do it. You got to watch the game with a group
So
of people.
you have 2 days this week that you need to take off work early or not go to work at all.
Friday doesn't count because by 2 o'clock, I mean, you're mailing it in on Friday.
Friday,
and
2
by
o'clock.
2 o'clock, no one's there anyway.
But tomorrow at Busch
Yeah.
Stadium for Chris and Amy Day, you're going to go to the ballpark. Cardinals, Padres, we have $15 tickets for you. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. We better see you there. We're going to have a great time.
Yep.
And when we come back, we will talk to Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. Maybe we'll ask him about the World Cup and the economy and how it does for us. That and more next on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Don't let garage door problems bench your summer plans. From repairs, tune-ups, and replacements, Renner Garage Door hits a grand slam every time. Score a free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock, and we have some dark clouds moving through downtown St. Louis right now, but some sunshine, too. It is 75 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump continued to tout his agreement with Iran while meeting with world leaders today at the G7 summit in the French Alps. Critics say Trump launched into a costly war just to get the same deal President Obama had already made with Iran, the deal that Trump tore up. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
President Trump today, during a meeting with the Emir of Qatar on the sidelines of the G7 World Leaders Summit, called the agreement between the U.S. and Iran, quote, fair and good. But he provided no new details of what's in the agreement, nor provided any timeline on when the text would be released. The president claimed that negotiations over Iran's nuclear program, to be addressed in this 60-day negotiating window, will be, quote, actually easier than getting to this point. Karen Travers, ABC News, Geneva, Switzerland.
A ban on apartments is being debated again in O'Fallon. City officials are worried that the large developments of multifamily housing may place additional burdens on public services, schools, and neighborhoods. This comes as the St. Charles County Council is debating their own 6-month ban. They're set to discuss the proposal at a meeting in early July, but a vote isn't likely to happen until later that month. Tired of high gas prices? Dump the Pump is on Thursday.
National Dump the Pump Day is a day which encourages people to leave their car at home and give transit a try so they can save at the pump.
Travis Wood with Citizens for Modern Transit in St. Louis says the American Public Transportation Association says a person could save about $13,000 a year by taking public transit. To encourage people to take a bus or train, Citizens for Modern Transit is giving a free monthly transit pass while supplies last to people registering on their website or go to dumpthepumpstl.com. Over the last month, Obsession has sent shockwaves through Hollywood. 20-something Curry Barker's micro-budget horror film has grossed $286 million worldwide and still going. It outgrossed Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu in North America. Its focus features biggest hit in its 24-year existence and ranks among the most profitable movies ever made. Coupled with the A24 hit Back Rooms by 20-year-old Kane Parsons, it's been a coming-out party for YouTube as a breeding ground for the next generation of filmmakers and has brought waves of Gen Z moviegoers into theaters. And the 2026 James Beard Award for Best Chef Midwest goes to Lauren Nalick of Balkan Treat Box. Last night in Chicago, the owner of the food truck turned Webster Groves restaurant became the first St. Louisan since 2017 to win that honor. Nalick was nominated in this category 4 other times. Nick Bogner of Sato and Indo was also nominated this year.
Intervals of clouds and sun this afternoon with a shower and thunderstorm around. It'll become breezy with a high close to 80.
Partly cloudy tonight, though, 65. Tomorrow, partly sunny, windy, hot, and more humid, high 93. A couple of severe thunderstorms late tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow night can cause flash flooding and contain hail, damaging wind gusts, and even a tornado. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 75 degrees in downtown St. Louis. We've got some sunshine, but also some dark, stormy-looking clouds moving through. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News. Oh, by the way, the weather is sponsored for you by Huff Heating and Air Conditioning.
For dependable, no-pressure home comfort solutions, turn to Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and family-operated for over 40 years. Our team will work with you on a plan that fits your home's needs with financing available. And as always, your family's comfort is our family's business. Learn more at huffheating.com.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Every Tuesday, we talk the economy, we talk finances with Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth on the Chris and Amy Show. Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji. And a text message comes in and wants to know if we are taking pictures with fans of the show tomorrow. Yes, at our ballpark event.
Yes.
Sure, why not?
The event of the year.
For a price. You have to pay me.
Well, no, I don't think
Not
you can
us.
say that.
You got to pay me.
I don't think.
I didn't say how much. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy for those $15 tickets tomorrow afternoon game at the ballpark, Cardinals and Padres. So Dave Simons is with us. Before we get into, nationwide finances in the economy, Dave, is $15 a good deal for a Cardinals ticket? I say yes.
You better believe it. It reminds me of growing up watching the Cardinals in the 70s when I don't know what the top price was. All I remember is my dad and I would go sit in the left field bleachers because my idol was Lou Brock.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be next to my idol. And those were $2 bleacher seats. And we loved it. That's where I grew up. That was my place.
So 15 is the new $2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah.
That works for me.
In this economy?
$15, great day.
You better believe
Gotta tell
it.
you, tomorrow.
Okay. Speaking of money, how is the old SpaceX stock doing? We made a big deal last week about it going public and Elon being the first trillionaire. How's it looking?
Well, let's put this in perspective. I've never seen anything like this in that in just a couple of days, you have a company that is now bigger as of this morning, because its stock continues to go up, is now bigger than both Amazon and Microsoft. I mean, this is a company that doesn't even have any net revenues yet and is not expected to for a while. So you've got a couple of things going on here. This is kind of a new meme stock, in my opinion. It's going to be a great company. We need to separate the company from the stock, and I have to be very careful because I can't give any specific recommendations on it. But anyone buying the stock today is going to have to be owning it for some time, because the company will have to grow into its revenues, which won't even really be materialized for a number of years. This is as much of a cultist personality stock because people love Elon Musk as it is in true fundamental valuation today.
Okay, so with that, if you buy the stock, but you have to wait for the company to grow into the valuation or whatever. But some of the company's predictions are very Elon-y. Like we're
Yes,
going to
they
colonize Mars in 10 years. And I'm thinking, no, we're not. Like, we can't even get to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. People can barely live in Antarctica. We're not going to colonize Mars. And so is there a chance that the company never grows into its valuation?
I think it will on that, Amy, but I don't. Could it be 20 years? I have no idea. But I love that term you just came up with, very Elon-y. And that's exactly right. I thought the same thing when he predicted that SpaceX would generate $1 trillion in revenue by 2030. That's only 3.5 years from now,
Right.
4 years from now. And you're saying that it's going to generate $1 trillion. Look, I don't bet against Elon, but he also has a way of pumping things up a little bit, slight exaggerations. I mean, he's never hit the Tesla numbers that he's promised. Great company, by the way, and a lot of people love it. But we've seen Tesla sales kind of flatten. Now, this is I don't mean to sound like I'm diminishing this company at all. This is I was going to say a world changer. How about a universe changer in a way? And I think it's the real deal, but it's just going to take a while. So my only recommendation to people listening right now, I wonder if I should buy this stock. I can't tell you what to do other than just don't mortgage the house to do it, please. Don't, if you're conservative, don't sell your CDs to buy this. Just take it easy, and you can maybe dip your toe in, but don't go crazy.
Two things real quick, Dave. I know you're not diminishing the company because this company could still be the most successful company in the history of the world and still not live up to the promises that Elon made. So,
Good
just
point.
by, like, you could say, well, just because I don't think he might hit $1 trillion in 3.5 years doesn't mean you're putting down the company. And two, whenever you talk about selling CDs to buy stock, I always picture my actual CD collection, which I picture myself selling my CDs to buy stock.
This is why you're on with us.
Amy, that's okay. It just, you can't have, at your young age, and I have no idea how much you have in CDs versus your overall net worth, but yeah, it's okay to have CDs, but someone at your age should not have a majority of your money in CDs, and that's my little free public advice.
There you go.
Dave, we know that with this supposed deal that the president has struck with Iran, which is somehow very similar to the previous deal that was already in place, that we're seeing some of the gas prices come back down. I know that it's under $4 a gallon now if you look around the area, and oil is down as well. So where do we stand on this? Will it continue to go down? What are we thinking?
Well, let's assume that this really is the deal, okay, and it gets signed Friday, and then we move on. Oil probably will continue to drop a little bit more. Gas prices will incrementally drop, but there's such a backlog, and there's such a systematic issue of releasing all this oil and getting it back through the Strait of Hormuz. That doesn't happen overnight. So could we be paying back down to $3 a gallon? Sure, but it might be the end of summer. It's not going to happen next week. So this is all, I think, potentially good news. But the market's reaction yesterday, which was, "Wow, this is great," like, okay, that's fine, but let's temper this a little bit. My bigger issue right now, frankly, and this will start in a couple of weeks, is the second quarter ends. And then we're going to have earnings. Remember, because we've talked about this, how the first quarter had these explosive earnings, 26 to 28% overall earnings growth from a year ago for the average S&P company. Just amazing, very historic. Well, what have you done for me lately? And companies are starting to hint at how things have gone in the second quarter. So if we want to keep this bull market going, we don't have to focus anymore on oil or gas or anything like that, because that's working in our favor to some degree. It's all going to be earnings. If they can't keep this up and meet expectations, yeah, we could have some correctiveness here in the market this summer.
With the Strait of Hormuz and everything that's going on with Iran, and like we said, we've had deals and ceasefires before, and the strait's going to open, and then it opens, and then it closes, and so forth. But the United States can, a lot of times, or at least compared to Europe, swim right along. So how are the U.S. market, how is the U.S. market comparing to the global markets or European markets as the ups and downs of the conflict with Iran move forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that, Amy, because it's very important to point out. Things are different today than they were even 10 years ago, but especially 20, 30, 40 years ago. If this kind of thing had happened decades ago where they actually closed the strait, I'm not kidding when I say we could have $7 or $8 gas. Because we were more dependent on that Mideast oil because of things like fracking and technological innovation in the oil industry, and the fact that now the U.S. is the biggest producer of oil, back to where it used to be many decades ago, where we've taken that over now. So we are in a much stronger position to have weathered this storm, this Iranian conflict and the closing of the strait. We're to be very, very thankful for that. Europe right now, a little bit of a basket case. They've got their own issues. The U.S. continues to stand atop of really any democratically run country. I hear this all the time, and I have for years and years and years, about the demise of America and the economy, and the dollar is going to crash. And I say, okay, that's fine. If you want to invest that way, have fun being poor. I mean, you do not bet against the U.S. And we're seeing that once again here. And that circles, by the way, that circles back to SpaceX. Forget about everything that we've talked about. Okay, is it a good stock or all that? Just the fact that this has happened in America, and Anthropic is going to go public, and OpenAI, and we are leading the AI race. Forget about all this talk. Well, China could be. No, they're not. They're not even close to us, or anyone who understands this. The dynamism that defines American entrepreneurship and exceptionalism is alive and well, and we're seeing that. Do not bet against this country. We will have recessions. Yes, we will have corrections in the market, but longer term, you stay U.S.-centric and you will meet your investment goals.
Kevin Warsh will have his first meeting as Fed chairman tomorrow. And are we expecting movement on interest rates?
No. The consensus is, and I agree with it, that you'll see no movement. Everyone, though, is waiting for Warsh to come out with his first public comments after a Fed meeting, like we've always seen with past Fed chairmen. What will be said? Because the last meeting, a couple of these voting members were saying, we're not going to. Not only are you not going to cut rates like everyone thought at the beginning of the year, we think we might actually have to raise rates. We had 2 or 3 governors point that out. Well, how are they feeling now? Because I think the fear back then, the last meeting, was about this war, about higher gas prices, about inflation. Are they going to back away from that? How is Warsh responding to this? I think he has a desire. He would like to cut rates, but he's not going to anytime soon. So that's what everyone should be focusing on. If anything moves the market coming out of the meeting, it's going to be more of the future vision that Warsh proclaims. I don't think they want to hear that he's in a big hurry to cut rates, because at this point that would prove to be more inflationary. If he just sounds a neutral tone, hey, we're watching this, there's a lot of moving parts, then I think the market will digest that just fine. And that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Next week, Dave, I think we'd like to get into what this World Cup economic impact on our country is going to be, now that we'll be, I think at that point, a couple of weeks into it. So it'll be interesting to get your take on that. I think we'll do that next week.
Yeah, and ask, too, something, because, Ranj, you brought up how the mayor, Rahm Emanuel, when he was mayor of Chicago, didn't want the World Cup because he said FIFA takes everything. So how does that...
They get like all the profits?
All the profits. So, like, how does, if we could talk next week about how that affects our economy.
And Rahm Emanuel is pretty spot on that. This is not a Taylor Swift event, which is a huge economic boom to these cities. It helps, but it doesn't rise to that level. So, yeah, I'd love to talk about it.
Dave, appreciate you. Talk to you next Tuesday.
All right, guys, take care.
Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, will be with us next week on KMOX.
That's a great way to put it. This is not a Taylor Swift event. Because that's, I think,
all that money goes to the city.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
If you didn't tell me that story, was it in the New York Times?
The Athletic did an interview with.
If you didn't tell me to read that story, I would not have realized how FIFA takes every dime of profit and puts all of the burden for transportation and security and the expenses on the city. I would have thought
being poor.
Yeah. There's an incredible thing that's happened regarding this, and I talked about this last week, how all of these stadiums like AT&T Stadium, which is where the Cowboys play, part of the deal is you have to cover up your signage. So AT&T, like the big neon huge lights that are installed on the roof of the stadium, have to all be covered up. Levi's Stadium, where the 49ers play, they had to cover up theirs, but the Levi's logo is so unique that it's like this, you could tell it's the Levi's logo still, and so Levi's has really leaned into it, and their social media,
genius. They've been genius.
You have to go and look at their social media, because they have taken advantage of it. It's really great.
One of the most recognizable audio clips on social media is the tense music playing in the background, and it says, "They're gonna know." It's like, they're not gonna know. They're gonna know. And that audio playing as Levi's the brand zooms in.
Kind of looks like an upside down crown,
Yes.
I guess is one way to put it.
Oh, I love
And you can
Levi's.
tell it's so good. What FIFA does is ridiculous, but the World Cup itself is a lot of fun. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-355-8662. 636-355-8662 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-355-8662.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them, and if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box, the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your Legacy Box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Plus, for a limited time, we're offering a special Father's Day sale.
Go to legacybox.com/radio to get an incredible deal. Buy today to take advantage of this limited offer. Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get started and save.
legacybox.com/radio.
How's business?
Good. Are you up to speed with the new beneficial ownership reporting requirements?
Sort of. What's it about?
It's a new initiative to help fight crimes like money laundering, fraud, and drug trafficking. A lot of small businesses like ours just have to report some basic info to the federal government about the real people behind them.
Reporting your company's beneficial ownership information is quick, secure, and free. And it helps protect U.S. national security. Learn more at fincen.gov/BOI.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
I thought those were good for me.
What's healthy for one person may cause inflammation for another. So how do you know what your body actually needs? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements.
Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims. And in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And I like to joke, and I say it all the time, like my work with FanDuel Sportsbook goes well beyond the time that it came online in Missouri. I used to have to travel to play. Not anymore. Now I get to play at home, and you can too, whether it's baseball season, whether it's hockey, basketball, football, and now soccer. On the biggest stage of the world, FanDuel is stepping up. They are changing the game because sometimes the player you've got gets subbed off and your bet goes off with them, but not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. So that's right. So if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it to the final whistle. No need to go anywhere. You just hang in there. You still got your shot. But visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. Super easy to do. And let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
to continue being the old man yelling at clouds or the get off my lawn person. But remember how last week we were talking about e-bikes and they're effectively little motorcycles that these kids all over St. Louis and St. Louis County are riding, and they're riding them on sidewalks, and some of them don't even have pedals, and a lot of them can go 25, 30 miles an hour or faster, especially if you modify them. So cities like Kirkwood and Wildwood, Chesterfield, all over Afton, they're trying to put some new restrictions on these bikes because people are afraid, one, they're going to get hurt, or the kids are going to get hurt. There was one story in the Post-Dispatch about a kid who, this was the Texter, about a kid who was in like a modified type go-kart thing, driving down the street, blew through an intersection, almost got hit by a car. It was pretty traumatic, but for everybody. Matt, you talked about family members saying there are older people who live in these neighborhoods and go on walks or take out the trash and are kind of frail. And these bikes come up on you so quickly. So I was driving down Big Bend on Saturday. And this is Big Bend at Baldwin. And we were kind of going slow, I guess, because of traffic. But I was going 35 miles an hour, right? 35 miles an hour down Big Bend. And I look over on the sidewalk next to me. I get passed by what appears to be a 10 or 11-year-old kid on one of these e-bikes, which means he's going 40 miles an hour on the sidewalk. I was going 35 miles an hour and I got passed.
Are you sure you were going 35?
Yes, because I was slowing down because I was approaching slow traffic at a light that had just turned green.
Mm-hmm.
But even if I was going 30, I got passed. That's insane.
Did he hit anybody?
No, he was on a sidewalk. And I didn't see him when I was walking. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's dangerous. I think we can all admit, I want kids to be outside, and I think it's great. And you know what? I'm not even against motorbikes like that. Out in the country, it's perfect, but not on a sidewalk in Baldwin.
Okay, you have two choices, all right?
Okay.
Either the kid stays indoors on TikTok all day long from morning until night, or they go outside on one of these e-bikes and ride 35 miles an hour on the sidewalk. Only two choices. You get no other choice.
TikTok, because I can't get hit by that kid's TikTok.
Well, you were going to get hit by this kid.
But
you were in your car.
on the sidewalk running. Actually, Blues broadcaster Chris Kerber just texted.
Yeah.
He said he was walking on the sidewalk a couple of weeks ago and nearly got destroyed by a kid riding one of those e-bikes who was absolutely flying down the sidewalk. I'm telling you, it's happened. And I feel safer running on the road these days. There was a kid this weekend on the sidewalk, and I was grateful that he kind of yelled, "Excuse me," but by the time he finished saying me, he was already past me.
Oh.
Because he was going so fast. "Excuse me," and it just whooshes by you.
Let me ask you this question.
But I got
Let me ask you
on Big Bend.
This is an honest question, and you can go ahead and text in with your answer.
Something tells me this is not an honest question.
314-436-7900. Can you stick-spoke a child on an e-bike?
First of all, it's going to have to be steel. It's going to have to be a steel spoke. If you're going 35 miles an hour.
A broomstick would still get the job done.
Maybe that should be our question.
Question of the week. Is it okay to stick-spoke a child on an e-bike that's riding 35 miles an hour?
No, you can't. Ron, you can't hurt a kid.
Okay. What about an adult? What if they're 17? What if they're 18?
What age can you
stick-spoke somebody who's riding an e-bike on a sidewalk?
I'm not going to lie. The one that happened to me
I think you could do it at 13.
The one that happened to me in Webster Groves, I wanted to put a stick in the spokes because it was 3 of them, and they knew they were going to scare me. So they came up on me and like yelled, and I basically jumped off the sidewalk. I was terrified. It happened so fast. And then they just laughed and zoomed on, and I wanted to kick their wheels.
How old do you think they were?
Those guys were they were older than 10. They were, 13, 14.
Okay,
yeah.
So this is not legal advice, so I wouldn't take what I tell you.
You're the worst
I don't know if
advice giver.
if it's okay or not.
I'm guessing it's not.
But I might stick spoke somebody.
Well,
you're putting people in danger.
So here's a 3 and 4. I was driving down Ballas in Des Peres, and a kid about 10 just blasted through the stop sign in front of me at a high speed. He didn't even look left or right, and I almost hit him going about 25 or 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I should give him a little nudge.
Stick your foot out you're in a Jeep, and you can just stick your foot out the door.
Let's talk a little bird ball. When we come back, Derek Gould, lead Cardinals beat writer for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. The Birds continue a series tonight against the Padres after Dustin May was brilliant last night. We'll talk to Derek when we come back on 104.1 FM KMOX.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
Around baseball, they're talking about St. Louis, a youth movement that's not waiting for the future. Names like Walker, Wynn, and Weatherholt aren't projections anymore. They're the conversation right now. And in a city where expectations never change, the conversation gets louder. Join the conversation. The Gas House Gang. Weekdays at noon. This is Cardinals talk that doesn't flinch.
Enjoying the great taste and health benefits of cottage cheese is easier than ever with Pro Pack Snack Cottage Cheese Cups from Prairie Farms. Each perfectly portioned cup is less than 100 calories, low in fat, and packed with 12 grams of protein, making it a smart, satisfying way to fuel your day. If you're at work, practice, or a cards game, Pro Pack is your tasty grab-and-go snack option. Locally made, naturally delicious. Find Prairie Farms Pro Pack Snack Cottage Cheese Cups at your local grocery store.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's cloudy, but 74. Some sun today, maybe a thunderstorm later, a high of 80. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A low of 63. Weather sponsored by i3 Broadband. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, they're offering their longest price guarantees ever on their gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and get started today.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, summer is right around the corner, and right now Universal Windows Direct is making it easier than ever to get the job done. When you buy 4 windows, you get 4 for free. That's one of their biggest offers of the year. The more windows you replace, the more you save. Plus, you'll get 48 months of 0% interest financing, same as cash. 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today. That's universalwindowsdirect.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
The Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale are coming to the Family Arena for one magical night of country and Christmas, December 17th. It's the Gatlin Brothers Farewell Tour. And Crystal Gale is joining them to celebrate an evening of country's greatest hits and beautiful Christmas music. Don't miss the Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale. Tickets are available at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster.
Mickey Dolenz, 60 Years of the Monkees. One night celebrating the music from their hit TV show, The Monkees, and a generation of adoring fans. Friday, November 13th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. All the biggest hits and intimate stories from the groundbreaking hit show. Mickey Dolenz. On sale at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
May with the windup. The 1-2 pitch to Fernando Tatis Jr. Swing and a miss. That's a Redbird winner. That's a one-hitter. That's a shutout for Dustin May. Light up the night. Light it up in downtown St. Louis as the Cardinals celebrate a great pitching performance and 2 out RBIs, 2 for Jimmy Crooks, 1 for Alec Burleson. The Cardinals blank The San Diego Padres 3-0.
Series will continue tonight. 5:50 is our pregame show. 6:45 first pitch from Busch Stadium. And the Cardinals will continue the series against the Padres. We are going to talk to Oliver Marmol on the Gas House Gang today because it's Tuesday. And we talk to him every Tuesday at noon. And then tomorrow on the Chris and Amy show, we will talk to President of Baseball Operations, Chaim Bloom. He will be with us at 10 a.m., and that is while we are broadcasting live from Busch Stadium for Chris and Amy Day. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy for those $15 tickets for tomorrow afternoon. Time to go to the Quiver River Electric guest line today. We bring in lead beat writer for the Cardinals with Post-Dispatch. It is Derek Gould joining the show. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning. How are you both?
Hey, we're doing okay. Not as well as Dustin May is because that was he's pitched since the first couple of starts of the season where it didn't look right. I mean, he has settled in so nicely, and last night was the culmination of it. That was as good as he's looked in a very long time.
Yeah, I think that's a really excellent way to put it, that this wasn't like a lightning strike out of nowhere. This has been kind of something he's building towards, and sort of the force met the compliant lineup too. I mean, it was a bad matchup for a struggling Padres team loaded with struggling hitters, and he was at his best. Very like he threw 50 pitches to get through 5 perfect innings. I mean, he was very efficient as well as overwhelming with every one of his pitches. I mean, there were some changeups. He didn't throw a whole ton of them, but there were some changeups in there that were just filthy. And playing off of then the cutter and the other stuff that he has, he was at his best with all of his pitches. And he's a guy who has a whole lot of pitches, and he was facing a lineup that is struggling against almost every pitch. So a good matchup for him to take advantage of.
And Derek, I said this kind of facetiously earlier, but I guess one way to give a break to your struggling bullpen is to just not go to the bullpen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which they've done now a few times here, like really, because I mean, Hunter Dobbins, it's hard to say, well, that's a reliever. I mean, he pitched, 8 innings in relief, quote unquote, but he did really well in that. But you're right. I mean, talk about that's the added element of it. Like, talk about timing is, the bullpen was just kind of still queasy from its Minnesota trip, and then could just take a breath and let Dustin go last night. Gives them a chance to reset, rest. There were a handful of guys that they just were not going to go to yesterday just to avoid, even if they were like within range of being available. The thought was that, some of their stuff had kind of flattened out, like a JoJo Romero, right? Like he pitched a lot, but he'd also pitched in high leverage spots, right? So they were like, if they can just avoid him for a day, a few days, maybe, that would help him get right for, what's a curious schedule, to say the least, with the Saturday off day and what's ahead for them to close out this month. But that was on the mind last night going in, was like, how do you figure it out if you want to stay away from 2, maybe even 3 guys in that bullpen, just because of how the weekend went, not because of a lack of faith in them, but because of their usage? Then how do you do that? And Dustin May raised his hand and goes, I gotcha. Yeah, go without him at all.
It's pretty amazing what he did yesterday. And it's strange to talk about this because the Cardinals are in a position with the top wild card spot right now that most of us did not expect they would be in the middle of June. But here they are. They are contenders. They are playoff contenders now. And so him pitching well in a year that if they had been performing the way a lot of us expected, that would be an incredible trade piece potentially, which could help set them up a bit for the future. But is that pretty much out the window if the Cardinals are still, top couple or in, a striking distance of a wild card spot once they get to the deadline?
Yeah, the best thing about the question that you ask is that it has the potential to make the answer has the potential to make everybody unhappy. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I mean,
I'm not going to make this easy for you.
No, I don't expect it to. But I don't really say that facetiously, because I think that's like where the Cardinals have put themselves by playing well. It's in this wonderful vice of, are you rebuilding or are you a surprise contender? And the Cardinals are like, well, we're rebuilding. We're trying to focus on the future. We want to put together something that can be sustained, not, quote unquote, the sugar rush of one season where everything happens. And the National League all around them keeps going, nah, you're a contender. No, go ahead. Go on with yourself. You guys, like the Cubs, the Cubs are a good team that has not played like it, and that's allowed the Cardinals, who are a good team, a quality team who has played beyond what's expected, to stay like in that spot, right? No one's really pulling away, if that makes sense in the standings. So it's a great question because the Cardinals are going to have to, and you guys will talk to Chaim about this tomorrow, I'm sure. And he's told us, and I talked with him in Sacramento about this, is he's like, you have to stay on the long-term plan. You have to, if you're committed to it and you've talked about it, you have to stay on that, and you're trying to build a team that doesn't just reach October, but makes noise in October. And you're not going to give up the future to do so in the short term. In a sense, if they're like, well, we keep these guys and we try to build a team for 2026 and a run in the playoffs, they would have to trade some of this depth maybe and some of the talent that they have spent a lot of time trying to accumulate. And they feel like they would just be doing that for the short burst of whatever this year takes, as opposed to trading it to augment a team that was well ahead, right? Mm-hmm. They don't want to eke into October. They want to be a storm in October. And that's how they talk about it. And, so I think you're going to see a team that, because of the performance on the field, is really forced to try to look at some creative things. And does that mean that they still make some of the trades like they're talking about, right? Because there are going to be players that the Cardinals have that other teams will be interested in. Dustin May is one. Jojo Romero is another. There's a chance that teams will try to offer for Riley O'Brien, depending on how he's going, because of his years of control. The Cardinals are in an interesting spot where they can trade from a lot of different spots in their roster. But then on the other side, look to see what they could accumulate to help their future. And I think there is a way to thread that line. They do have some financial might that they could tap into, which would be really interesting, because to your question about how could they help their team now, that would allow them to make a move where they're not giving up high prospect capital, but they're taking on salary, right? And there are some really disappointing teams out there. There's a handful of them who have these commitments to players that are a little long, that do go beyond this year, and they want to refresh. And I do think it'll be interesting to watch if the Cardinals find a fit there where they can use money and not give up on the future, but add something that helps them.
Yeah, and I can see how the trade deadline might be more confusing for fans than the organization, because if you're in this build and this is not the year where you think, man, we're going to win the World Series, and you make painful sacrifices, with future players, if you think this is your window and you're committed. But if it's not your window, then couldn't the Cardinals just stay the course on building, not give up anything for the future, and say, hey, if they make it to the playoffs or as deep as they go, we're playing with house money right now, because now you get these young players postseason experience. You didn't give up the future, and you're going into next year still on track to build, but with more experience. The fans may not like that, but doesn't that make sense for the organization?
It does, with the added twist of helping the future by moving a guy like Dustin May, right? Like, if you're like, stay the course, but we want to focus on the future, and you have someone who is in demand that could get you help for that future, you have to at least explore it. And there's a real question, and that's something that I asked Chaim Bloom about, is like the message to fans as well as to the clubhouse, because the Cardinals are in a spot where they still need to move tickets, right? They need to, Tarps off is only going to go so far with the fans. They need to, they need to bring some back to the ballpark and show them what they're doing. And if they have a winner, right, that is playing in, entertaining baseball, that is producing some entertaining personalities, that has a genuine, the season that Jordan Walker is having, is this the beginning of a breakout star, a middle order hitter that they haven't had, a homegrown guy for a while, right? If all of that is happening, and then they trade their like a Dustin May, or they trade some. Let's say they trade a lot of the roster, and they come back on August 3rd in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium against the Pinstripes with all the attention on them, and they look like they've been replenished by the Memphis Redbirds. Like, what message does that send to fans, right?
Well, what does it send?
We're having a fun season, and you pulled out of it? That doesn't make any sense.
And beyond that, what about to the current clubhouse? Because that's a sell that they have to do too, right? And how would they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a fan of, and I wish I could like put my finger on exactly where I heard it. I'm not sure I heard it like all from the same person, but it is something that like Tony La Russa would talk about, is like what a team earns at the trade deadline. Like the team puts in all the effort on the field to get into position to contend, and then there's this time of year where the front office gets to show what it can do. Like, okay, we've taken all of the at-bats, we've hit all the home runs, we pitched all the innings. All right, now's your chance to show us what your skills are and what we've earned. And I like that kind of notion. I know it's a little bit oversimplified. I get it. But you're right. And you talk to players and everything, and they're like, this is a time to help. Now, if they don't do anything, then you'll hear the inevitable comments that, well, they trusted us to do it on our own and we'll just go do it. Mm-hmm. But I think clubhouses do like to go, hey, we earned some addition here. And you're right. That is another part of the messaging that will have to be managed.
Oh, yeah. I know for a fact that, many of these clubhouses, if they are playing well and they get the team makes a trade and it is a pretty big addition, those guys are it's a shot of life. I mean, that's not a cliche. It's not a thing that we on the outside say happens. Yeah. It actually happens. We know those guys feed off it.
I saw one wild swing in the opposite direction once covering the Cardinals, where a big trade was not met with excitement. It was met with confusion, but that was because of what it cost. Folks will remember the Allen Craig, Joe Kelly trade, right? And that brought Lackey in. John Lackey was a big addition. Like, I think everybody realized that, especially what he did the next season. But it just felt so weird that two really popular players were going out, if that makes sense. So it confused the clubhouse. But, I always remind, like, the best example maybe of what you're talking about is on a train ride that the Cardinals had in 2009 at the trade deadline. They were going into Philly, and they were doing an old school vintage baseball, had a charter train carrying up to Philly. And it was then that they were working on a trade to get Matt Holliday, and Mark DeRosa texted Skip Schumacher, I was the appetizer. We just got the main dish. And there was a whole lot of excitement about getting the cleanup hitter that they had been trying to get.
I cannot wait for this deadline coming up here, especially if this team is playing like this and, they're right there in the mix. I do not envy Chaim Bloom on that because, either way, he's going to have a something to sell, and it will be very difficult to do it, I think, if they're playing well. So,
yeah, it got more interesting with them demoting Nolan Gorman.
Yes.
I mean, it just did. It got more interesting because if they're saying, like, that he's not part of the now and they want him to get work down there so he's part of their future, do they also entertain that maybe he's part of acquiring something for the now or for the future?
Derek Gould, we love talking baseball with you, my friend. Thank you for being with us again.
You bet. Have a great day tomorrow at your day at the ballpark.
You going to come by?
Are you going to come by?
I can. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
That's like one of my non-committals.
That is how Ron is so flaky. Yeah. That was one of his flaky responses.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like the invitation caught me off guard. So I'll come by.
Hey.
I mean,
just inside gate 1.
Okay, just inside gate 1. I will swing by. Yeah, I will be there before driving off to Kansas City and the World Cup schedule that is going on over there.
Fine.
With the Cardinals and World Cup going on at the same time. It should be interesting.
That's right. All right, Derek
Gould. Awesome. By and say hello. Enjoy your day.
Thanks, Derek.
Yep.
Derek Gould, lead Cardinals beat writer for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys talked about this on Friday or on Monday while I was out, but how about the Cardinals being in New York while the NBA Finals started?
Yes.
And there was a game And now they're going to be in Kansas City with the World Cup going on. So they've been right there in the thick of it for a couple of huge sporting events.
Yeah.
And then they have their own baseball game to play. It's a lot of fun. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
All right. Well, the seasons are changing. And like we always say, when the seasons change, you start to notice bugs. I don't know why. When it gets cold, when it gets hot, the bugs move around. They show up in your basement. Maybe ants are showing up in your kitchen. Now's the time to call Rottler because you just want to take care of it now before the embarrassing moment happens, like you're having a graduation party or a birthday party. And it always happens right when the guests show up. You notice a little army of ants crawling across the kitchen countertop, and it's so embarrassing and frustrating. Well, for 70 years, Rottler Pest Solutions has helped homeowners like me, like you, protect what matters most. And what's important to note in the summer, too, especially if you're hanging out in the backyard, did you know Rottler can take care of not just like ants and roaches, but also mosquitoes. They have a treatment that targets mosquito larvae, so it can reduce mosquito population for weeks. It's amazing. It's a game changer. And also ticks, because we know that it's a really bad tick season this year. You're going out, you're gardening, your dog's in the yard. The next thing you know, they've got a tick. Call Rottler. They can take care of you. When you call them, someone will answer the phone and be able to give you speedy, prompt service, which is amazing. Rottler.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Grab your shades, your float trip gear, and join us June 17th for Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium.
We'll be broadcasting live from the Mississippi Yacht Club pop-up bar outside Gate 1, hanging with fans and serving up some fun behind the bar.
Live music, Fred Bird special guests will all be there. Plenty of chances to stop by and say hello.
Plus, you can sit with fellow Chris and Amy listeners in our special section for just $15.
June 17th.
Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark. $15 tickets.
Get your tickets now. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy.
Go Cards.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. Like that morning status meeting. Always better with bagels. And don't forget the coffee. Ops team working late? How about some Power Bowls to keep them going strong? Sandy's celebrating 10 years at the company. This calls for cupcakes. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about Burn Balance Complex, which is available at Supplement Superstores. And look, I've been using Burn Balance Complex since the week that it was released, and you notice the benefits really soon after you get started. Look, what Burn Balance Complex is a complete metabolism system. It is not just a fat burner. It works with your body, not against you, right? It's not bringing a lot of the negativity that other supplements bring. It's nothing but the good stuff. It's a natural weight loss option for people that just don't want prescriptions or injections. Get that. I understand it. And to me, Burn Balance Complex is the best thing I've used when it comes to natural weight loss. Also helps with reducing stress and lowering cortisol levels. You're going to get appetite and cravings control along with that, plus all-day focused energy with no jitters, which is the best part. Look, it's not magic. You got to put in the work. Burn Balance Complex makes putting in the work that much easier. So get out to Supplement Superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you, and they'll knock 30% off for you right there on the spot. And you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, I think this is going to be a strange season for real estate. Just kind of feel it in my gut. What can people do apropos of their mortgage to put themselves in a better position to get that house?
You know what, Dave? That's a great question. There's a bidding wars that are going to happen this spring. You want to get the house. This is how you're going to make things better. Number one, we give you the power of the pre-approval letter. That means you can go into our portal and generate the letter and edit it for any amount you want up to the amount you're approved without chasing the loan officer. Number two, the bagel loan. no closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, no appraisal fees. It's a bagel. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. Add that money you would normally pay onto your bid and beat the other offers out. And you know what? The third thing is we can close fast. 10 days. They're going to look away at the other offers because most lenders take as much as 30 days to get done.
You can call or text Stewie at his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or you can Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You're welcome at the home of the blues.
I got a real problem with you people.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big problem. And I know that this is not going to go over well, but I don't care because I cannot stand it.
I know what it is. Is it because I always say Madison Square Gardens?
Well, I didn't know you've been doing that. Now I'm pissed twice.
That one I really don't like.
Matt pulled me aside and addressed me as if he were telling me he had like some terminal disease. That's how serious he addressed me about calling it Madison Square Gardens.
Well, St. Louis has a terminal disease right now. When it comes to a thing that we do, and I'm not going to say we because I refuse because it makes me cringe. My skin crawls when people do it.
Ugh.
Friday was the watch party for men's soccer. Big World Cup event, great time. Went to Ballpark Village, awesome atmosphere. Really enjoyed it. You know, everybody was into it. And I mean, when I walked in the building, it was already loud. And this is before the game even started. You know, people were getting into it and getting ready for it. So, of course, the national anthem happens.
Yeah.
And they play it inside the building and everybody stands up, hats off, all that stuff, right? And I knew it was coming because it's been coming. It's been happening at Cardinals games. It's happening everywhere. It's happening at soccer games at City SC. And I despise it. I despise it when we get to home of the brave in the national anthem.
Yeah.
And people do the home of the blues thing. Please, for the love of everything holy, stop it.
Really?
Stop it. It's so terrible and it's so embarrassing. I hate it. I hate it.
Wow.
I hate it. My skin crawls when people do it.
Wait, do you not like it at hockey games?
No, fine. You want to do it at a hockey game? Fine. Technically speaking, you're not supposed to change up the lyrics to the national anthem. But people do it. Culturally, it happens everywhere. Braves do it. Weirdo Chiefs fans do it in Kansas City. I know. So I know it's a thing that I'm not going to stop anybody from doing it. But for the love of God, please stop doing it at a game that's not a blues game.
I don't think it's that bad.
I hate it.
Chicago, you know how the Blackhawks fans yell through the entire anthem?
They only do it at Blackhawks games.
They only do it at Blackhawks games?
They do not do it at any other game. Correct. No Bears, no Sox, no Bulls. They only do it at Blackhawks games.
Listen, can't you
it's embarrassing,
give
guys.
this to hockey fans?
No, I cannot. I
think you should.
No, I can't. It'd be like wearing a Blues sweater, Blues jersey in August at Busch Stadium.
People do.
When the playoffs are going on, if they're in them, and I understand that.
Wow.
But no, I'm sorry, guys.
I'm yelling home of the Blues at Chris.
I mean, I know I'm not going to stop anybody from doing it. It's embarrassing, and we need to knock it off. It sounds so stupid. You want to do it at a Blues game? Great.
I think you're hurting my feelings.
Okay. Well, good. Your feelings should be hurt because you should be embarrassed that people do it.
I
hate it. Hate it.
If you could get rid of that or the power play dance, what would you do?
The blue. Home of the Blues. Home of the Blues. I will take the power play dance 100 times out of 100 over this.
You can't possibly believe that.
I absolutely believe it. As bad as the power play dance is, this is far worse.
314-436-7900. We will get to your text.
Stop doing it when it's not a Blues game.
You're not the boss of me, Bossy
Stop
McBosserson.
it. You look dumb. Dr. Roseanne Capana-Hodge will join the show when we come back, a psychologist and therapist.
Yeah, we need one of those.
Media.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do, for you idiots. Social media has an effect on young people, and we will talk to her about that when we come back on KMOX.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original Red Ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Mizzou football is almost here. Get ready for the season opening kickoff and Como game on Thursday, September 3rd, with 4 tickets for only $80. Be there to see the finished Memorial Stadium Centennial Project, a deal for the entire family to enjoy the home opener. Let's keep the sellout streak alive and bring the energy as we kick off the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium. Purchase your 4 tickets for $80 at mutigers.com/kickoff in Como. MIZ.
If you are looking for a place for independent living for older adults, the place is Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. It was voted U.S. News and World Report's best independent living for 5 consecutive years. They have social events for the residents there, wellness programs. Just go to fairwindsriversedge.com. Schedule a tour and hear about all of the great new updated spaces, all the dining, the social events, the best. fairwindsriversedge.com.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
At 11 o'clock, we have cloudy skies, 74 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. A Baldwin man convicted of serial rape has been sentenced to nearly 300 years in prison. 29-year-old Yahya Mali was in court this morning in Clayton, where a judge sentenced him to 291 years after his April conviction on 17 counts, including first-degree rape. Mali used dating apps going by the name John to lure women to his apartment. 7 women testified against him during his trial. A psychotherapist who works with teens and young adults says the attention being given to teen takeovers is just fueling the trend.
It's newsworthy, certainly, and so they want to garner more attention. But then when a lot of these teens who, they want to experience this rush, they want to experience, being, maybe they'll be filmed, right? Maybe they'll get on TV, maybe they'll be talked about. And so as more attention is garnered, they really kind of lean into it more.
That's John Pulse, a psychotherapist with Full Life Comprehensive Care. Pulse says it's a difficult situation for law enforcement to balance the need to maintain public safety while not feeding social media buzz. Not only is it expensive to buy and maintain a car and insurance, but gas prices are taking a bite out of people's wallets. Travis Wood with Citizens for Modern Transit encourages people to try public transit. Thursday is National Dump the Pump Day.
The American Public Transportation Association has done research on this, and they found that people can save $13,000 annually or $1,100 a month if they're exclusively riding transit. And even if you're not doing that, just a few times a week, you can really see savings right away.
Wood says his organization is giving away free monthly transit passes for July to encourage people to try taking the train or bus. You can register for one at dumpthepumpstl.com. Higher mortgage rates and the rising cost of building materials conspired to drive down housing starts in May. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
Single-family housing accounts for the majority of home building,
and the figure fell to its lowest level since last September and 6.7% below May of 2025. The housing market was already under pressure from import tariffs before the start of the U.S.-Iran conflict. Now analysts say the war is driving down construction.
Intervals of clouds and sun this afternoon. A shower and thunderstorm will cross the area. The breeze will pick up, our high about 80. Partly cloudy tonight, though 65. A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, becoming windy, hot, and more humid. Watch out for severe thunderstorms late in the afternoon and early tomorrow night that can cause flash flooding and produce hail, damaging wind gusts, and even a tornado. The high tomorrow, 93. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We do have some rain reported in the area, especially around Florissant, 71 degrees there, cloudy 72, and St. Peter's 74 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, score a free repair or replacement quote and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
It is the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. And of course, we a lot of times on this show talk about social media, its impact on children. And just yesterday, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom made an announcement that they will be banning apps like TikTok and other social media platforms for kids under the age of 16. To discuss that with us and whether or not that would work worldwide and here in the United States, psychologist, licensed therapist, and the author of the book coming up in September, The Dysregulated Kid, the parenting playbook for helping your child find calm in a chaotic world. We've got Dr. Roseanne Campana-Hodge with us on KMOX. How's it going?
Hi, Chris and Amy. Things are going great. I'm just super excited to talk about this because it's such an important topic for parents.
Why is it so important, and how important is it compared to all of the other issues parents have to face?
I think it's a very real issue that every single parent across the globe is struggling with because we weren't raised with devices, you know, our Gen Xers and Gen Zs, right? They weren't raised with so much access. So parents are ill-equipped at managing how our kids are using devices, which is extraordinary, the amount of time they're spending on devices. So it's a real source of conflict between kids of all ages and parents.
There are, oh my gosh, so many angles to this that are frustrating and I think terrifying for parents. You mentioned the amount of time that kids are on these phones, whether it's education or their mental health or their motivation. Let's start with social media, the addictive nature of it, and how young developing brains process and absorb social media. Because to be honest, I find it depressing and addictive, and I'm in my 40s, you know, and I didn't get on social media till I was an adult. How is this affecting young brains?
Well, we are seeing more and more research about actually how much time kids are spending and how it's affecting their brain. So, you know, today, in just a short amount of time, now the average age that kids are starting to use devices is actually 4 months old. 4 months old. And so teenagers are spending about 8.5 hours a day. And I think the real problem with device usage is it's here to stay. So it's not the devil. It's not this awful thing. The problem is we're just spending so much time on it and parents don't know how to manage it. And so one of the biggest issues is that these apps, these devices really are truly addictive in the brain. So when parents are telling their kids to get off their device, it's because, you know, they see what's happening, how this is becoming a priority over, you know, doing normal play things of all ages, Legos, sports, art, other things. But these devices, you get a super high dopamine hit, right? They're engineered to activate the brain's dopamine reward system in the same way gambling does. So the brain is learning to crave it. And as you said, Amy, as an adult, you find it hard to break, but it's increasing the stress response of the nervous system. We know the prefrontal cortex is being negatively affected by social media usage, particularly scrolling versus being engaged with others. So I said I unpacked a lot, but really ultimately what's happening is these devices are designed to be addictive, and parents don't know how to support their kids in doing other things.
So why are these devices and the social media platforms, why is it worse than some of the other inventions that have come along over the generations? Because it does seem like each generation, there's this new concern that, oh my God, kids are getting a hold of this. This is the downfall of society. Why is this different?
You know, it's such a great question. Really, honestly, think about device usage, right? You know, I have an iPhone. Most people have a small phone that fits in their pocket, right? We grew up with Atari and TVs. You weren't putting that in your pocket. And so it's highly accessible. And when a device is near you, we know this through research, the brain actually is alerting to, is there a notification? This even occurs when your device is near you in your bedroom, that if it's in the room, we know that you don't rest as deeply. So it is too accessible and we're not putting the limits on it. And again, it's designed to give a dopamine hit that is so hard to break unless you're intentionally setting boundaries.
It's unbelievable. This is even from, say, the education side. The Atlantic had a great piece about kids going to Ivy League schools who have never read a whole book. They don't have the attention span for it. I have friends who have kids who don't have attention spans for a TV show because a 30-minute show is an interminable time for them compared to the 2 and 3 second clips. What are we noticing as far as like education where kids, this is training their brains, like you said, to crave an immediate dopamine hit versus the discipline to sit down and read a book, a paper book?
Yeah, I mean, device usage is reshaping in a negative way the prefrontal cortex, which is that part of the brain that is a job manager that says, hey, you got to read this book from front to beginning, or this is what you need at your grocery store. And it's reshaping the amygdala, which is that's our brain's emotional alarm system. So we are training ourselves to have the attention span of, truly a goldfish, and everything is getting shorter. Side note, I'm doing a TED Talk and on the nervous system, and TED Talks used to be 18 minutes. And because of the changes in people's attention span, they now are shortened between 7 and 10 minutes. And this is just in 2 years. This isn't something that's been going on for years. So we aren't giving our kids paper books. And that's a problem because we have to train you to regulate and do these activities. And kids and adults are capable of reading a whole book.
Psychologist and therapist Roseanne Campana-Hodge with us on KMOX. So now it is, if the government doesn't step in and just outright ban all of this stuff for children, it is now on parents to do something about it and to regulate it at home. So how does a parent go about taking something like this away from a kid who's probably going to lash out or is going to say, you're old, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about, that kind of thing? What do they do?
Well, the first thing and the single greatest thing that a parent can do is get the phones out of their kids' bedrooms at night. And that means having a regular routine that everybody in the family follows, including mom and dad, and having a docking station in a different place. I would add to that you are using tools such as Wi-Fi management, where your Wi-Fi actually gets shut down at night, because kids are pretty sneaky And people will tell me their kids, including my own, will go and get a device in the middle of the night. So just turn off the temptation for everybody. And then the other thing, that biggest mistake I see parents make is they're not setting boundaries consistently before your child is using a device. So you see your child on a device way too long, you come in, you try to negotiate with them. Now you understand they're getting a dopamine hit, the level that is so addictive, the level of gambling, and you're asking them to get off their device. You have to negotiate, you have to be clear and consistent about your boundaries in advance, or you're going to get caught in a reactivity cycle that is going to end badly for both of you. And your child is never going to learn another way to manage a device.
I can't remember if this was the Washington Post or the New York Times, but it was a pretty upsetting story about young kids who are already addicted to their devices, to their phones. And so these parents saw that it was changing their son's behavior and personality. He was about 10 years old. They took the phone from him. And for about 6 weeks, he was like angry, kind of a maniac, displaying all of the physical and emotional symptoms of drug withdrawal. I mean, I think it scared him. But then after about 6 weeks, he kind of returned to his old self. Have you seen this? And what would you tell parents who are trying to get their kids off the phones and maybe seeing some scary withdrawal symptoms?
Amy, as a therapist who specializes in kids, I see this every day. I mean, this is something we're all facing because kids are spending not an hour or 2 hours a day, they're spending 7 or more hours a day on devices, and that is reshaping their brains. So it's all about balance. What are you setting as an example? And can your kids do something else? So we can't just say to a kid, get off your device and play. Right? Get off your device and call your friends. You have to lead by example, and you have to create opportunities and consistency in doing other things, because you are going to be on a device, but what else are you doing? Because that can't be the only thing that your kid is doing. And so that's how we change things. And, this child taking 6 weeks, the research is pretty clear. I mean, you start seeing a difference in 7 to 10 days when you change things. Now, is your kid going to be completely regulated in 7 to 10 days? No, but they're going to move towards self-regulation. Self-regulation just doesn't happen. You have to practice powering down. I think that's the missing link. We're moving to this dysregulation crisis. And it's about not giving your nervous system a break from not just devices, but just stress. And so what are you doing as a parent to give your kids non-device time? Because that is a critical piece that is missing in our society today.
So what if we're talking about a kid who is several years into the social media usage or the phone usage? And I mean, that's a lot of time and a lot of reversal that needs to be done. They started using it when they were 12 and now they're 16 or 17. It would take, it seems to me, it would take some time to get a kid right. You know what I mean? Like to get them to recover from that. We're talking about it like it's a drug addiction, So how long would something like that take? And are kids salvageable?
I am such an optimist, and I've worked with such extreme cases. Every kid has an ability to regulate themselves. It's just how long is it going to take is unique for everybody. And also, what do you bring to the table? Are you a neurodivergent kid? Do you have a history of emotional issues? Is there stress in the family? It's going to be a harder road, but not impossible. But what has to happen, and what is interesting about this ban in the UK and Australia has already done it, is you're absolutely right. The older kids who have a habit are harder. They want to push back. So again, go back to this idea. You are a parent. What are the boundaries you're setting? And you have to set boundaries when you're both regulated. If you're trying to talk to a kid who is on their device, who's dysregulating, the brain doesn't allow you to have the same logical conversation than they do when, you're having breakfast, you're out on a walk. So start shifting things, set clear boundaries. Again, the parents have to have their own boundaries. You can't be on your device screaming at your kid to get off their device. You have to show what you want from your kids. And I think that's getting increasingly hard with the amount of work we're doing and the level of access we have. But it's not impossible. And I see parents do it all the time. But just know that your kid will move towards regulation as you give them time to power down. Don't expect it to happen overnight.
Dr. Kapana Hodge, tell us about your book that's coming out in September, The Dysregulated Kid. What can parents expect from your book?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I mean, my book is really teaching parents in such an easy, doable way how to combat dysregulation. How do you put the nervous system first? And I made it so easy that I want people to think about it as brushing your teeth and finding moments throughout the day that no matter what you're bringing to the table, how stressed you are, how challenged your child is, you can regulate your nervous system so that your stress cup empties and you can be much more focused, present, and happy and connected, because we're moving to a very disconnected society. We don't have to. It's all about putting your nervous system in a regulated state, and it's easy.
Again, the book, The Dysregulated Kid, the parenting playbook for helping your child find calm in a chaotic world, written by Dr. Roseanne Kapana Hodge, again, coming out in September. Dr. Kapana Hodge, we appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you. This is such an important topic, and I want parents to know that they can help their kids be regulated.
Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-355-8662. 636-355-8662 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-355-8662.
Think buying a home is out of reach? Think again. Scott Credit Union has down payment options as low as zero money down. Your new home could be closer than you think. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope Missouri is here for you with free confidential support. Counselors help with stress, coping skills, and connect to resources. If the St. Louis tornado impacted you, visit moshowmehope.org from Missouri Department of Mental Health.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Well, at least some people agree with me on my Home of the Blues take.
I think everybody does.
Well, you can text in at 314-436-7900. And what I said last hour was I really despise the fact that people sing Home of the Blues during the national anthem when it's anywhere but a Blues game. It just doesn't make any sense, and I cringe, and it's bad. At a Cardinals game, you're not at a Blues game. You're at a Cardinals game. Cardinals are about to play. Or a City SC game. Or like what happened on Friday night when the men's national team played in the World Cup and people did it at Ballpark Village, the Home of the Blues thing. It just sounds bad and dumb. You can text in how you feel. 314-436-7900. One texter from a 618 says, I totally agree about Home of the Blues at Cardinals games. So I work there, and I cringe every time I hear it. The Cardinals are the winners this year, not the Blues. It's ignorant and disrespectful of players standing on the field.
Listen, you cannot like it without calling it ignorant and disrespectful.
I kind of disagree because imagine you're a Cardinals player down in front of the dugout, and you're standing up, got your hat on your heart for the anthem. It's playing, and the whole crowd says "Home of the Blues," and you're like, "What the hell? It's a Cardinals game. It's not a Blues game. What are you guys talking about here?" I obviously agree with that. One texter says, I love that Chris hates it, so let's do it more. Although I could totally see incorporating Home of the Cards at baseball games. It doesn't really sound right, which is probably why it doesn't happen at Cardinals games. Like Home of the Cards. Doesn't sound right.
I think it's the B. Starts with the B.
That's why they do the Home of the Braves. Home of the Chiefs is weird, but that's what they do.
They do the Home of the Chiefs?
Yeah. In Kansas City.
That's weird. Home of the Braves, that makes total sense. And I know like in Dallas, say does that Star Spangled Banner like that. And the Knights. But those are at the respective sports. I don't know that they do the Dallas Stars thing at other events in Texas.
Like a Texas Rangers game?
My guess is at some, high school football game, they're not yelling Stars because football's king in Texas. I would be surprised if they're doing the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, and they're probably not doing it at a Cowboys game either,
Although the Cowboys have a star on
they could.
Helmet.
I guess they could do it if they wanted to.
They could.
And a texter mentions the Vegas Knights, shouting Knights during that, and they noticed it on Sunday.
But again, Ronj is not complaining about it at the Blues game.
No, if you want to do it at the Blues game.
He's complaining about it at other sporting events and venues because they do it they did it at the Go St. Louis Marathon.
That's so weird.
They sing the national anthem, and there's always the crowd will yell Blues. Here's a 618 says, for once, I agree with Ronj.
Well, it's about time you were right about something. And here's a message. How about Home of the Birds?
That's kind of good.
I guess they could.
I kind of like that.
There you go. You want to do Home
of the Birds. But you know what it is? It's because the Blues, just like Lou and Newt, I think it's two things why people do Home of the Blues. It's not just because, it's the St. Louis Blues. No, it's because Brave and Blues both start with B, as weird as that sounds. And then everybody loves to do the boo sound, which is why you get Lou and Newt. And I think if the Blues were the Birds, I don't think it happens. I think that's why we don't say Home of the Birds. It's all about the whoo sound.
I do think that maybe we're onto something with Home of the Birds because at least a couple of people have texted in about that idea. So maybe that's what we do. If you want to do something a little out of the ordinary, it's okay. But Home of the Blues, when it's not a hockey game, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Amy Marks scores, Chris Ranji. You know what else doesn't make sense? Big, giant open holes in the road. We call them sinkholes.
Although there are quite a few people on social media calling them potholes. That's not a pothole. That's a sinkhole.
It's a huge pot.
Hole. It's a sinkhole.
The sinkhole still exists. When is it going to be finished? Will it
Finished?
swallow?
It sounds like they're trying to make it bigger.
Will it swallow the entire city before it's over? It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Oliver Marmol coming up on the Gas House Gang today at 12 o'clock. We'll talk to the Cardinals manager then. And don't you forget, tomorrow is our big day at the ballpark. Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium, 1:15 game. We have tickets for you for $15. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. We better see you there, I swear.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
All access with Ollie Marmol on the Gas House Gang.
I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group. This group fits my personality to a T. I love what we're doing. I love how we're going about it. I love the honest conversations. I love the grit. And there's been certain times where I've caught myself where bases are loaded, our back's up against the wall, and I can't help but smile. I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group.
Ollie Marmol, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX.
This summer, there's no better place to catch Team USA in the FIFA World Cup 26 than the Beer Garden at Anheuser-Busch. We hosted KMOX listeners there last week, and trust us, the atmosphere is incredible. Huge screens, great seats everywhere, ice-cold beer, $15 Michelob Ultra pitchers, $20 Ultra buckets, $5 Ultra drafts, and collectible FIFA cups while supplies last. Bring your crew, cheer on Team USA at the Beer Garden. Visit BudweiserTours.com for details.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Pretty cloudy out there, although the sun is peeking through. 72 degrees right now, a high of 80. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 63. Weather sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
In the Palm Beaches, we are truly in a league of our own, with an unbeatable collection of year-round sports on display. Take a swing at tennis or pickleball, or get a front row seat to polo, baseball, and everything in between. Then, find out why we're called Florida's golf capital, with more than 145 beautifully manicured sun-soaked courses, perfect for pros and beginners. When it comes to sports destinations, there's no competition. Curate your vacation at thepalmbeaches.com.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
You can never have too many tools. Shop DeWalt deals at Lowe's. Get a free Select DeWalt 20-volt max power tool when you buy a Select 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery kit. Plus, get a free additional DeWalt 20-volt max 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a DeWalt 10-inch 20-volt max dual-bevel compounded miter saw. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Today, the Cards, the Padres.
Ameren Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
A text message to 314-436-7900 in regard to Home of the Blues says, how about we stick to the Home of the Brave to honor our veterans? The replacement words may be fun, but they aren't very respectful. I don't know. I kind of agree with that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I just think it sounds goofy when we're singing Home of the Blues, and it's not a blues game. I just think we look weird, especially with the men's national team. It was a U.S. against the world, and we're singing Home of the Blues. Come on, we gotta stop it.
Listen,
what?
I get it. I don't know. Is it just a very St. Louis-y thing? Do you think somehow it ties into our low self-esteem?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, another texter says the exact same thing, pretty much. How about respectfully singing the national anthem as it is written in all venues? Just a thought.
Yeah, so far, the text line has been unanimous with Ranj on this one.
For varying reasons. Mine is more of I'm offended that we're singing it when it's not a blues game.
Yes, for other reasons, it's like when the Supreme Court justices all come to a decision and you have the majority opinion, but each justice writes why they came to that opinion, where they came to the same.
It's all a little different.
It's all different. Yeah, that's what we're having right now. Real Supreme Court moment. Okay, well, Ranj.
While I was out.
While you were out.
A big sinkhole developed, did it?
35 feet by 25 feet. That was at least the original measurement. 10 feet deep, right under I-44. It's on Biddle. You can see the dome. It's in view of the dome. So it's like north side there. And Maria Kina, man, she was on it. That's why I think we need to have a segment called Give 'em Hell, Maria. And it's just Maria being that.
How many Maria Kinas could fit in this sinkhole?
Well,
I think we could fit 400 Maria Kinas because she's so little.
I think you can fit like 30 school buses. And how many Marias could you get in a school bus? Easily 100.
She's gone down to see it?
Yeah.
I should ask her how many of her would fit in the hole. Okay.
We could fit a lot of Maria Kinas in there. But, she's the dogged reporter asking the hard questions. So what we know is that on Saturday, the police and the streets department and MoDOT and all that finally gave a press conference about the sinkhole. And Saturday evening, around like 5:30, I believe it was, is when they closed 44 above the sinkhole. But here's the thing. If you look at the sinkhole, as we mentioned how big it is, 35 feet by 25 feet, and you had all, multiple pipes broken and spewing water. It's 20 feet from one of those major columns holding up the highway?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the sinkhole appeared Friday night, which means that thing existed about, 20 feet, less than a stone's throw from a major support column for the interstate, and the interstate stayed open for 24 hours.
Now, MoDOT is saying that they don't think it has any, structurally, it's not a concern, or it shouldn't have been a concern. The 44 should be okay. But, I guess they're just not taking any chances here, which I don't blame them for doing that. Because, can you imagine traveling through St. Louis and that thing comes down? Look, we already have enough problems, and we already have enough problems with perception, what people think of us. Imagine if it becomes a thing where it's like you can't even drive past St. Louis, because if you drive past St. Louis, you might end up in a sinkhole.
No,
if that starts.
The thing is, when you look at how close the sinkhole is to the support column, and even if MoDOT says no, we're pretty sure it's safe, and they said out of an abundance of caution, they are closing I-44. I don't know that we have a real good timeline right now for where I-44.
They said at least a week.
Okay, will open back up, but we are so fortunate that it did not collapse any closer to that column, because it could have compromised the column. And then you're talking about an absolute tragedy if, cars driving over that section and
right.
People could have died. We are so fortunate that it did not open up closer to that column, but it is rather jarring to see. And we talked about this with Michael Kelly yesterday, because we know that there's about over $700 million worth of repairs to the water system in the city of St. Louis, to that infrastructure. Even if you were to use all of the Rams money, it's a drop in the bucket, because what does the city actually get? $350 million or something when it's all broken down? You're not going to fix it. So yes, we do need to direct some of that Rams money to the immediate crisis points. You have to view it as a triage system, because I asked Michael, what are the chances that we keep kicking the can down the road like we have, obviously, for decades and decades, and, we'll allocate $10 million or $20 million to fixing some spots, and this infrastructure keeps breaking? What are the chances we get into a real crisis, a real issue
where it happens
where
everywhere,
it's collapsing?
Yeah.
And he said, there's a real chance that could happen. But no city has that $700 million to immediately fix things. I do not have the answer, but at some point, do you ask for some kind of grant? Do you ask for some kind of loan or help?
You have to, in my understanding, with federal grants on stuff like this. So this would be an infrastructure improvement, the public safety. It kind of is all wrapped up into one thing. And if the interstate is involved, then I think the federal government would have a special interest in doing something about it. My understanding is this, and somebody who knows better than me can correct me on it, but the federal grants also require some sort of match from local money, or to the total cost, right? Something between like 50 and 80%.
Yeah.
They would help cover, but there has to be some kind of match from the city or the local itself, which, okay, that could hold us back a little bit, but there is a reason, going back a year or more, when the city was surveying people about what to do with the money, and you heard local officials say, we've got to do something about the water system. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what happened over the weekend is exactly why. Because that sinkhole is not little. If you haven't seen it, it is very big. And if it does end up structurally affecting an interstate, that is a huge problem, right? So,
yeah. It is affecting it, because out of an abundance of caution, they're closing it.
It's going to need federal help. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There will have to be some kind of federal assistance, and it's up to the city to try and figure out how to make that happen.
One of the funnier tweets, and again, I guess you can make jokes since no one did get hurt. Like I said, this could have been really, really bad.
Yeah, I could be in that sinkhole right now. which is one of my fears.
Yes, it is.
Driving. Can you imagine driving into or being in your car when a sinkhole? Oh.
Well, here's the thing, though. Being in your car and falling into it, driving on the road when a sinkhole opens up, yes, is bad enough. But being in an elevated interstate, so you fall from that distance into the sinkhole and everything falls on top of you. I mean, that's like the worst of the worst. That's terrible.
You know what one of my fears as a kid was? I told you about this. And it happened after the San Francisco earthquake. So you remember, and I forgot what the interstate was, but it was a double-decker highway.
Oh, no.
In San Francisco, and the earthquake happened late 80s. 88, I think it was. 89? Okay. And so this happens, and that highway for a long stretch pancaked. So the top part collapsed down into the bottom.
Of it or no?
Oh, no. There were people driving on it. Yeah, crushed a ton of cars.
Awful.
And so that section right by Busch Stadium right now, where 6440 is a double-decker, there's a really short stretch of it. I always feel a little unnerved going under it when I'm heading east.
No. It could have been really, really bad. At any rate, because no one got hurt, there was one of the finer tweets because it was either the streets department or the police told people, hey, you need to stop coming downtown to St. Louis to see this sinkhole. And someone tweeted, great, we finally get an attraction to bring people downtown. And you're telling people not to come.
We got to set up lemonade stands and food trucks. And
what if we kept it and built a visitor center right next to it?
Well,
make it a thing.
What if we're the visitor center? Should we set up our own booth?
It's actually not a bad idea. What if, are we allowed to broadcast from the sinkhole?
Why don't we just do it? And you know what they say?
The Chris and Amy Day at the sinkhole.
Don't ask permission, ask for forgiveness later. That's what we should do.
Well, after we do Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark, I think we should look into Chris and Amy Day at the sinkhole.
All right. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Where's Steve?
He's right there. I can see him through the window.
Yeah, Steve's
Our
outside.
boss
I'll ask
Steve
him if
is
it's
right
okay.
there. So at any rate, I'm really glad that everyone was okay. Now, we do have a texter said they waited to announce the sinkhole because the water department was announcing a huge bill increase first. I don't think that's why, but they had already, or at least at the same time, I think it was right before, they announced that bill increase, and we knew it was coming, that over the course of, what is it?
No conspiracy theory. This is to get everybody on board. That's what this is. They allowed the sinkhole to happen so that we are all on board with the water rate increase.
Guess what? It worked, baby.
I'm in.
in.
Here's another texter that says, would not be surprised if the support in question on the I-44 downtown goes down to bedrock. I would hope so, but I don't really know anything about geology. And another message here says, good luck on the sinkhole. Gordon Moore Park in Alton still has a sinkhole after a couple of years. I guess they never did fix that. I know that
I thought they were working on it.
Well, here's the difference.
I can neither confirm nor deny that it's fixed, but I do know that they were working on it.
Here is the difference, because that is just a park, and you can, in perpetuity, you could just keep people away from it forever, and you're not really affecting interstate commerce. But I think when an interstate is potentially affected, there's a huge interest in getting that fixed, and quickly.
Yeah, see here, this guy gets it, 636. The new attraction, the St. Louis sinkhole. Come down, have a drink, and throw a coin and make a wish.
There's no water in it.
Can we broadcast from the sinkhole? I know they're not letting you get too close.
Like on the edge of it?
Yeah, we're not going to fall back. Our chair falls back into the sinkhole.
Steve's talking to a guest. You want me to go out there and ask him right now?
I think go ask him right now. Go yell. So here's what's happening is our boss is right outside the window, and Ranj is going to yell and ask him if we can broadcast live from the sinkhole. I think this is a great day. The Chris and Amy show day at the sinkhole. Here's our boss, Steve. Chris and Amy Day at the sinkhole, Steve. The people are demanding it.
I don't think he's liking it.
He said yes. He's nodding.
I've asked him 3 times. He just keeps staring at me.
After we do Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark, we're doing Chris and Amy Day at the sinkhole. It's going to be great. Maybe we can get hats.
Thanks, Steve.
He said yes.
He didn't say a word that whole time. I asked him multiple times, can we do this? And he's just looked at me. I think it's not a no.
It is not a no.
It's Ollie Day on the Gas House Gang. Coming up at 12 o'clock, we'll talk to Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. Bernie Miklasz, Tom Ackerman, and me will be with you. And yes, Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark is tomorrow afternoon. Cardinals, Padres, we're guest bartending. We'll be inside Gate 1 broadcasting before the show. We have $15 tickets for you. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. Get them now.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The pitch. Mason Wynn hits it hard. Deep left field. That ball's out of here.
Community America Credit Union has been helping people like you and me, shortstop Mason Wynn, to win big for 85 years. Cash back with your free checking. Win. No service fees or minimum balance. Win. Bank anywhere, anytime with their app. Win. So yeah, with Community America, you can win, and so can I, Mason Wynn. Community America Credit Union. Invested in St. Louis, invested in you.
What if your bathroom felt less like a routine and more like a daily escape? Glover here for my friends at Michael's Baths. They can transform ordinary bathrooms into beautiful, comfortable spaces for homeowners across St. Louis and all the surrounding areas. And now they're introducing new premium walls, perfect for those who love the look of stone without the upkeep. It's sleek, durable, and designed to elevate your space. For a limited time, enjoy a free rain shower head or upgrade with safety features like grab bars or a built-in seat. Call us at 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Grab your shades, your float trip gear, and join us June 17th for Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium.
We'll be broadcasting live from the Mississippi Yacht Club pop-up bar outside Gate 1, hanging with fans and serving up some fun behind the bar.
Live music, Fred Bird special guests will all be there. Plenty of chances to stop by and say hello.
Plus, you can sit with fellow Chris and Amy listeners in our special section for just $15.
June 17th.
Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark. $15 tickets.
Get your tickets now, cardinals.com/Chris and Amy.
Go Cards.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Jordan Walker. Celebrate Black Heritage Day, presented by your quality Ford dealers on Sunday, June 28th at Busch Stadium. This special culture and community event honors the impact, history, and legacy of the Black community in baseball and beyond. With a special themed ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Cardinals jersey designed by Corey Rogers. And don't miss a special heritage celebration in Budweiser Terrace before the game. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at Cardinals.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Well,
a car, probably.
Whoever owns the e-bike, don't you think?
Well,
I don't
if
know.
they caused it, you would hope so. But I mean, if it's a kid,
Who's responsible for the insurance if I spoke that kid
Probably
on his
you.
bike?
Probably
You think it's
you.
me?
mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Unless you can
Doing a
prove it
public
was an
service.
accidental spoke
Too
stick.
many cameras everywhere. Cameras are everywhere, so they're going to see my intent. I can't make it look like an accident. I would try, but I don't think it's going to work.
You know what? I'm not a fan of the cameras everywhere.
A little too much, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of everywhere. It's great to solve a crime, but I can't do a little crime without somebody finding out about it.
Do you think lifelong criminals, like criminals who've been committing crime for 50 or 60 years, do you think they sit back and go, back in my day, you just walk up to a house and break in? But now everybody's got Ring cameras.
Probably.
I would think that they long for the old days.
Yep. See? I don't know. Is it true that the city is no longer collecting recycling?
Yes, because I know they were faking it for a while.
Texter says they can fill the sinkhole with the recycling they are no
Hold
longer
on.
collecting.
Now I'm having a total mind blank, and I don't want our know-it-all listeners to get mad at me. What I do know is for sure is that for a long time, the city was faking it. They were picking up recycling and trash and dumping it in the same place. And I can't remember if they either stopped faking it or they just stopped picking up the recycling.
Well,
I got to find that out. Otherwise, people are going to get super mad.
maybe we should. Here's an idea, Amy. Tell me what you think. Use some of the water from the reflecting pool where the algae is now and in Washington, D.C., and we can have it fill the sinkhole. Because did you see what they're doing there, by the way, today?
Okay, I did.
So they refilled the reflecting pool outside the Lincoln Memorial, and it is turning green already, and there's algae in it, which the whole purpose was to clean it up, and then they painted the bottom blue, and it doesn't look blue right now. Anyway, they are currently, or they were as of a few hours ago, dumping hydrogen peroxide. So they've got these workers who have these boxes and boxes of gallons of hydrogen peroxide, and they're just dumping it into the water to kill the algae.
So I don't know if this is true or not, because I don't know how they cleaned the reflecting pool before this. I never thought
routine maintenance.
I never thought about the algae. Like it wasn't. They didn't.
I'm sure it grows fast.
Did they chlorinate? It's not a chlorinated reflecting pool. Again,
I don't
this is
think
out of
so.
my pay grade. I don't really know the details of maintaining a reflecting pool. This Michael O'Brien. He's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
he's a pediatrician, I guess, but I don't really know anything other than it says that he's a pediatrician.
I saw this.
He says, y'all, not to be a huge nerd, but for the reflecting pool, you would need a minimum of about 8,000 liters of 12% hydrogen peroxide to reach the 50 parts per million concentration to kill algae. Is this what happens when you have zero scientists in your administration? I don't know. I don't know how you keep a reflecting pool algae free. Was in years past, was algae a problem? I'm assuming you said it's stagnant water.
I can't
How did they
imagine
clean it?
I can't imagine they did it. Whatever routine maintenance you do, you probably do something once a year, but it's the kind of place where it would grow back pretty quickly, I would think. If it's a pool that's stagnant, and stagnant things, things grow in stagnant water. So I'm not really sure.
What if it's a chlorinated pool? Does that help?
Great question.
And they don't have. I just assumed.
Well, you see dirty pools.
Ugh. But I just assumed that the reflecting pool wasn't completely stagnant. I thought it had, like a hot tub.
Yeah, it's just like a hot tub.
At any rate, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look into this. Maybe we'll get our reflecting pool expert on. I will say, when it comes to the recycling in the city of St. Louis, I was on the St. Louis City of website. It sounds like they have drop-off collection and single stream collection site, which is what our texters are saying. No more alley pickups, but the city has gone back to single stream collection sites.
Here's a texter that says rock is about $15 a ton. I'm quite sure it is not that expensive to fill that. All the city needs is all the trucks, and they can haul the rock in themselves. Well, I have a better idea to what you could do with that $15. Instead of buying a ton of rock, buy a ticket to the ball game tomorrow.
Yes.
For Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium, Cardinals Padres in the afternoon, 1:15 first pitch. We're guest bartending. We'll be hanging out. We got a special section, special tickets for you, $15. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. We cannot wait for tomorrow. We are looking forward to seeing you at the ballpark. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy. We'll also be talking to Chaim Bloom on the show tomorrow at 10. But coming up next, it is the Gas House Gang. Oliver Marmol, manager of the Cardinals. The recently ejected Oliver Marmol will join the show. That's the Gas House Gang next on 104.1 FM KMOX.